Welcome, everyone, to Constructed Chaos, where we run our D&D live streams every single Wednesday and Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and where tonight we are running Episode 2 of a Decay in Darkwell, our Chat Plays D&D adventure. I can't wait to get things started. I can't wait to play D&D with all of you as you cycle through a little bit of musical chairs with these 3 characters that Chat created in Session 0. If you're interested as to how the adventure got started or what went into creating these characters, you can check out both Episode 1 and that Session 0 here on the channel. I encourage you to do so because Chat did a great job with the backstories for these characters. They are very engaging. We worked all of it into the story. I think we did a pretty good job. And it's created a very compelling adventure. If you're new here and you haven't been able to play Chat Plays D&D before, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future Chat Plays D&D streams and campaigns that we'll be doing. All of these streams tie directly into our other normal in-person streams that we have every Wednesday and affect the larger world. So this is kind of your way to get directly into the mess with me and construct a bit of chaos from the chat. Speaking of chaos, chaos is on for our Chat Plays D&D campaigns now. So every single message that you put in chat contributes 1 chaos point towards the total. And when you construct a certain number of points, chaos will happen. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, especially in the context of these campaigns. So construct wisely is what I'll say. For the rest of you, if you want instructions on how to play along with us, use the guidance command in chat for those instructions and some helpful tips. If you are interested in just jumping into the mix, you can use the roleplay command to opt into the system. From there, we'll be cycling out every 10 uses or so for each of the 3 characters, and you'll almost certainly get a chance over the entirety of the session to try your luck with various roles in chat, text-to-speech in chat, through the characters' voices. It's a ton of fun. The only thing I'll mention is that you do need to make sure that you're active every 5 minutes or so, or the system won't pick you. So that's just to make sure we don't pick anybody that's not been active in chat and ends up clogging up the mess a little bit. But if you want to make sure that you are unclogged and your pores are nice and moisturized, go ahead and get yourself some tabletop beard oil. Today we're checking out the Druid oil. These guys are our sponsors every week for our D&D campaigns, and I shouted out the Druid oil last week, which smells like forest and wildberry, but I felt like I needed to shout it out one more time tonight, specifically because of how druid-centric this campaign is. You guys have a druid in the party, after all. If you guys want to check out some of these beard products for yourself, head over to tabletopbeard.com. The link is in the description below, and you can use code CHAOS20 for 20% off of your entire order at checkout. Do also check out our comment from last stream. This one came in from our very good friend, Dwayne Bradway. He said, "This story is starting deep. It's nice to be able to tie into their backstory. Great job, everybody." Dwayne, I can't agree enough there, man. And as a matter of fact, I agree so much that I'm gonna gift you a few points here if I can for the next time you're able to join us on one of these streams. Thanks so much, Dwayne, for being a part of the chaos and for enjoying that session. Hope you enjoy the next one. I know I sure will. Last but certainly not least, check out our friends over at Darkport. They stream on their channel every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and that's tomorrow, which also happens to be the day before our next stream. So you can have D&D 3 days in a row, all in various flavors and types. That all said, I think I've talked your ear off enough, so let's get things started with some beautiful bean footage.
A new day greets you through the humble root-framed entrance of Bramble's Burrow. Nearby, your host still snores loudly as his hair-and-gone feet occasionally kick restlessly against the packed dirt walls. Ayla's freshly horned helmet sits atop the rest of her father's plate mail. Nyx cuddles with a now empty jug of firewater masquerading as syrup, and Thalindra smacks the remaining sweet taste of good berries, clinging to the edge of her lips. A mixture of excitement and anxiety creeps over you as your eyes blink open, for all of you are well aware of the dangers that lie ahead and of how hard it may be to find good sleep like this on your journey to Darkwell.
Welcome back, everyone. So, now that all of you have seen the intro, and several of you have joined the roleplay pool, be sure to type !roleplay in the chat if you would like to pilot some of these characters, because as we get things started, I'm going to be selecting each one of them down the row, starting with our paladin, Ayla, who just joined the Order of the Jackalope. Matt Steely is going to be piloting Ayla. Welcome in, Matt. I hope you have a great time as our resident Order of the Jackalope Paladin. Now let's see who's going to be piloting our friend Nyx, the Arcane Trickster Rogue. Let's see. Russell Mooney, welcome in. I hope you are ready for some firewater antics. As
so excited.
Jason alluded to that a bit at the start of the session there, but last and certainly not least, we have Thalindra, the Circle of the Moon Druid. Let's see who's going to be piloting Thalindra at the start here. Looks like it's going to be Jason96, the big three, Matt, Russell, and Jason, ready to set out as we begin episode 2 of A Decay in Darkwell. As you all rest within Bramble's Burrow, slowly blinking awake and sort of savoring that morning well-restedness that you hold within your bones, you know that it may be a rarity in the coming days.
Thalindra, the beautiful yet wild druid of the jungle.
Absolutely. As she is known throughout I'd say most of the northern regions of Zashatan. It's pretty impressive, especially for a person of her age. Suddenly, though, as all of you wake up and begin to look around the chamber, you realize that Bramble's loud, rumbling snoring has disappeared. The little nest of hay where he slept is empty, only a faint indentation left behind. In this moment where all of you are left alone, what is everybody doing as you're waking up? I know the intro gave a little bit of insight as to what these characters were doing the day before, but what exactly do we find them up to this morning on the eve of their big adventure? I know we left off with Nyx having a bit of a drunken nightmare, which shouldn't become a regular thing. I'm sure that's only a one-time thing. So, with all of you well rested and beginning to
Nyx wakes up to another sip of the maple syrup.
sort of smacking her lips at the last little drop of firewater. You know
Ayla
what?
packs her things and many snacks. Ayla packs her things and many snacks.
Oh, there it goes. Matt, I actually changed it. I need to change it in the comments below. You actually only needed to type it since you're piloting the character. You don't even have to use the say command. So as you sort of pack together some snacks, Nyx drains the last bit of fire water that was hiding in that maple syrup jug. All of you trying to ascertain what it is that's expected of you in this moment, when Bramble's head suddenly pops back through the entry hole. Ears perk as he beams at you. "Wakey, wakey, sleepyheads! Come on outside, your glorious carriage awaits!" His head slips back beyond the threshold, and his heavy footfalls thump across the ceiling as he hops, sending small streams of dirt spiraling down.
Thalindra opens her eyes under the bright lit sky. Her eyes dart left and right, but she calms down after seeing her sisters, Ayla and Nyx. Where did that damn jackalope knight go? He kept me up half the night with all that snoring.
Yeah, Bramble certainly is a bit boisterous, especially for his size and frame. But as you ask that question, that's when he pops his head in and invites you all outside to explore the glorious carriage that he has awaiting for your journey. Is there anything you all would like to do before exiting? I'll give you a moment to tell me before we move on to Bramble's glorious carriage that he's made for you. Or prepared, rather. He's not much of a woodworker, you see. He's not really a carpenter by trade. He's a little better at breaking stuff. Even better at fleeing. Okay. So, with that, you all climb out of the burrow, and you find Bramble bustling around a small handcart, poking and prodding a few more items into place as he dusts off his paws. Everything you could possibly need! Do any of you want to inspect the handcart, or just kind of pick it up and head off on your way? Let me know. Perhaps you'd even like to ask Bramble a few questions. I know last time you guys asked for a bit of clarifying information, which I think is probably going to be helpful, but maybe not everything he knows. Or it could have been everything he knows. With Bramble, it's kind of hard to tell. He definitely puts on a goofy facade, but there's a little bit of wisdom in there. Not a lot of intelligence, mind you.
Would anyone like to pull, or shall I do the pulling?
Ayla looks around to the rest of the group, spying a rogue who's not exactly the strong burly type, and a druid that could potentially transform into a beast
Bramble,
of burden.
your hospitality and resourcefulness is very much appreciated. Thylindra stays close to Ayla and Nyx. The wild druid says very little, but sniffs around the carriage.
Okay. I will say, as you pass that compliment on to Bramble, he sort of nods appreciatively as you then begin to sniff around the carriage. Make a perception check for me. So !R perception. Welcome in, Saf. Yes, that nat 1 was from the other night, I guess. Maybe you gave us a D4. But tonight, hopefully no nat 1s. We'll see. Jason's just about to roll us a perception check, so who knows what we could be getting up to? As Thylindra inspects the cart full of possessions. Jason, you there?
I will transform into
There
a
you go.
powerful yet graceful horse if needed. Thylindra looks at Ayla and Nyx to see what they say.
Okay, as you call out to Ayla and Nyx and let them know that you can transform into a beast of burden to help haul this cart, you take a moment to sort of inspect what's on, at least what Bramble had worked so hard to pack down. There are some useful rations that you see with a 13, some bed cots that may be useful even in more muddy terrain. However, atop the pile, you see 3 mismatched teacups and a cracked teapot, 2 long sticks that are tied together with some hempen rope into a 10-foot pole, 50 feet of very frayed rope. As you look it over, Bramble says, "Oh, that's my lucky rope. I figured you could use it more than I could." And then last but certainly not least, your nose almost turns up whenever you catch a strong whiff of turnips in a sack. You sort of unbundle it, and Bramble says, "Careful with the top 2. I made sure to carve out a couple of friends for you on your journey, for company." And as he holds it up, you see almost jack-o'-lantern style, there are some smiles carved into a couple of the turnips. As he places them back inside, "You can name them whatever you like. They'll talk to you."
Finally, your horsing around pays off. I'll take you up on that offer.
Ayla
Cylindra
certainly
begins
familiar.
to doing horse-like things. She stops her foot on the ground and neighs, and she begins to gallop instead of walking.
Kind of peeling away from the turnips, you begin to transform into this. I imagine it would be a riding horse at your level, but you transform into a horse, a beast of burden that can help pull along this carriage. And Bramble, whoa! These turnips pack quite a punch. He licks one and then puts it back in the sack, kind of waiting, feeling his face with his little rabbit paws. Huh. Guess it doesn't work for everyone. Yeah, Saf, lots of role play with this group. You guys did a great job with the characters, so I love being able to see them come to life with your role play. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before setting out on your adventure? You have Bramble here. You have Thylindra, now transformed into a riding horse. I'm going to go ahead and mark off a use of your wild shape. Y'all keep me honest on this stuff because it's a little hard for me to keep track of it sometimes, but there are some changes to stream that are being worked on, maybe coming very soon, that'll make it a lot easier for me.
Nyx offers a turnip to Thylindra horse.
Saft, thanks for being a member for 4 months, man. He says, oh shit! Nyx, as you hold out a turnip to Thylindra, the horse, I imagine maybe you're even holding out one of the ones with a face on it as Bramble snatches that out of your hand. Are you mad? That
After
could cause
transforming
irreparable
into
damage.
a graceful horse, Thylindra runs around, playfully kicking up into the air. She then noses Nyx and eats a turnip is only a few bites.
Oh, no, Jeremy! Oh dear, the carnage! Oh! I'll say as you eat into the turnip, you certainly feel nourished. You come to realize that this sack of turnips, having been grown somehow by Bramble, is essentially a
Easy
good berry.
girl. As I pet her mane.
The horse brays in response. Yes, welcome in, Dracula. Make sure to use the roleplay command to opt in. People are burning through their uses tonight, so you may have a really good chance to jump into one of these slots. Now, I will say at this point, Bramble stands there, lowering his arms from obstructing his gaze at the carnage he's just witnessed. Well, I suppose you better hit the road. I have things to do as well. In the safety, I mean, the sanctuary of my home. Let me know if anything goes awry, and I'll send help immediately. As he sort of begins to hop away into his
Cylindra
burrow.
brews in response to being petting. She goes up to Bramble and likes him on the face.
Oh, thank you. Is that customary for your culture? He licks you back along the cheek, catching the tip of your long mane running down the back of your head. It sort of sticks up for a second before slowly drooping back down from all the leftover spittle. I'll say with that, Bramble moves back inside his burrow, and all of you begin your long trek towards Darkwell. I will ask at this stage for a marching order. Who would like to lead the way, and who would like to take up the rear? You can also let me know if you'd like to be in the middle. We'll kind of figure this out loosey-goosey, but for the most part, I kind of want to have an idea of how everybody's steering the party. Steering the adventure, even.
I'm more middle management.
Okay. So Ayla sort of stands in the middle, stalwart, ready to jump in and defend at a moment's notice as probably the tankiest of the group. Thylindra, are you in the cart bringing up the rear, or are you leading the way? And Nyx, I guess you can let us know if you're keeping an eye on your six or if you're leading us towards Darkwell, having grown up there yourself.
Thylindra shakes her hair loose, hooks up Totty cart, and leads the way.
Okay. Well, Jason, as you are swapped out for Dracula, Zazima, you can go ahead and roll the survival check.
Prolonged sheltering.
Nyx remains in the back, keeping an eye out for threats.
Okay. So it sounds like Nyx is keeping an eye on the 6. That rhymes, so it must be a good time. And then, Thalindra, you're leading the way. I'm going to have you make a survival check.
/ a survival.
Exclamation point R survival. Sorry. Slashes don't work on our bot there. I do know they work on a lot of Discord bots. Maybe I can implement that. Maybe I can make that work. Yeah, as you all begin your trek, it's pretty easy to maneuver through the city of Torvosa. So I'll say that's no big deal, but this will be the path afterwards. Okay. With a 9, Zazima, as you sort of lead in your riding horse form, pulling along what was a handcart and is now moving quite aptly as a horse-drawn carriage, you say your goodbyes, you begin promptly wheeling the cart through the streets of Torvosa. You occasionally spy that young green dragon flying overhead. Now recognizing your troop, they don't swoop down as they did before, but Thalindra, I imagine you get a little bit spooked as the horse, just as some sort of natural baked-in instinct, seeing a dragon up ahead and knowing that their claws would fit ever so nicely around your rib cage, carrying you off into the skies as a meal. It distracts you, and it actually takes you the better part of a day, the better part of a few hours to get through the city of Torvosa, and then the better part of a day to begin your trek down the path at the northeast corner of the city. I'll pull up the map here so you can see. So I guess it would more be towards the east, or rather west of the city. You're headed towards Darkwell in the upper left corner of the map. I'll use those directions since I'm better at that. And there's this narrow stretch of land that you almost miss when you first start your trek. It maneuvers you after several hours of steady walking between the towering northern cliffs and the shimmering expanse of water to the south of you. After traveling for a bit, you begin to hear the sounds of insects and birds intertwining with the steady cadence of the cart's wheels behind you. The trek begins to slope upwards, and the foliage parts just enough for you to catch your breath for a moment and catch a view as well. From this rise, you can see most of Torvosa, but if anybody would like to make a perception check, you can kind of look around and get a nice, I'd imagine, vantage. Or rather, I'd imagine it's a better vantage than many of you might be used to. Lots of settlements in Zashartan are in the lowlands. So I imagine some of you might have been up this high before, but maybe not with such a clear view over the water. Okay. Wow, those are some good rolls. Holy hell. Zazima, I don't know why it counted down so many uses for you. I'm sorry about that. It might have happened because you guys all rolled at the same time and only detracted from yours.
I think the bot lagged.
Yeah, I think that might be what happened. Not to worry, as is new in this campaign, piloting a character is free. It is a little bit of luck of the draw, but hopefully I'll get you back in here relatively quick. And if I don't see you, I'll try and pop you in manually because, yeah, that burned a lot of uses for you. Anyway, I will say that specifically the last two rolls would have been Nyx and Thalindra. Ayla, you're sort of taken aback by this. Having grown up on a farm, it's rare that you get to see this much of a vantage of not only of the landscape, but of a very populated city that you may not have been to before, or at least very often. The other two of you are
I will
very,
keep an eye
very
on the
aware.
animals I see so I can turn into them later.
That's a great idea, Zazima. You, as Thalindra, know you're fairly well traveled. You've seen a lot, especially in the wilds of Zashitan, but you know that there are a lot of interesting creatures that roam the woods near Darkwell. And so, not only for your own safety, but so you can transform into them later, you keep an eye out. And I'll say, because of that, and because you rolled the best out of everyone with a 23, 17 on the dice, you're kind of looking out over the stone platforms and pyramids that make up Torvosa, and even the broken ribs of the great shipwreck that lines its shoreline. The city looks small to you from this height, and you begin to sort of drift your eye line towards some of the area around you. And you actually notice a sudden trickle of loose gravel that skitters down the cliffside behind you. You kind of look to your companions, and neither of them have noticed that specific detail. What would you like to do, Thalendra? So Zazima, let me know. As you see sort of a bit of rubble tumble down the cliffside and settle at the base. It's light. I mean, without a 23, you might not have picked up on it. It doesn't really even make much sound. It's more of a breath from the top of the mountain. Especially when mixed in with the stomping of your hooves as a riding horse, it might be something that you don't pick up on immediately. Or the others don't. But what could it possibly mean? Your other friends continue to look out, not only towards the city, but towards the way ahead. You can see that while the path has crested at this
Ayla
vantage
walks
point.
along Oblivu.
I would pull myself into a different direction and find a place I can unshape. Then tell our party.
Okay. New rules in 2024, Zazima. I don't know if you know this. Druids can still talk in wild shape. They couldn't do that before, but they can now. So if you would like to tell the party without wild shaping, just let me know. But I'll say, as your friend Ayla and Nyx sort of get a vantage of the road ahead, you begin moving along with the cart nonchalantly, and they sort of shrug as they continue following in that same marching order. And after you've gained a little bit of distance, I'm going to say make a sleight of hand check to see how well you can convey the information you have without attracting any attention that you may have been found out. Yes, we can Mr. Ed the horse. Isn't that wonderful? Still no spell casting in wild shape, but you can talk in your wild shape. '18, Zazima. Great rolls tonight. Okay. So, as you get a bit of distance away from the cliffside, you find an area where the trees' canopies have almost completely surrounded the pathway, so much so that not much light is even being left in or let in, and you slow to a crawl as a bit of the dust trailing you with the cart swells up behind your back. That even obstructs the view a little bit more, and you find this is the perfect time to mention that to your party. You tell them that you saw a bit of rubble clamber down the cliff, but you're not sure what exactly caused that or what it could possibly mean. You just didn't want to attract any attention. So what are all of you doing with that information now that you feel like you might be pretty well masked by the surrounding vegetation? And yeah, Metalisa, if you're not looking to roleplay tonight, you just want to help out, you can construct chaos in these campaigns now. Every chat message contributes one
Ayla
to the
would like
chaos.
to ready herself for any combat.
Okay. Ayla, you sort of bring your maul off of your back, gripping it with both hands, feeling the metal warm to your touch as you glance around the wooded area, readying yourself for something to jump out at you. You've heard tale from many a folk that these woods are dangerous for more reason than just the wildlife. So you kind of keep an eye out for that. What are the rest of you doing? Yes, inspired chaos. As I was saying, you can construct chaos if you use the ! chaos command. You can give some of the points you have in your pool. You just tell the system how many points, and it will add it to the total. And when that crosses a certain threshold, chaos will happen. You can see the rock has just been reset a little bit. It's not wobbling or shaking or glowing too much yet, but it will begin to do more things as it gets closer to the total. Thank you, Zazima, for the 558 points.
Cylindra would like to ready herself as well.
Okay. Are you staying in your riding horse shape? That will be important. Or are you dropping the wild shape? Because I actually need to make sure that the riding horse is a monster that the druid can use. I believe it is. Yeah, 1/4. That seems right. If it's not, come after me in the comments. Druid's got a lot going on, but I've got you here.
Dagger in one hand, the other ready to cast, Nyx steels herself for a potential battle.
Okay. As all of you sort of place yourselves back to back, and I guess back to butt, looking out in all three directions, Thylindra still wild-shaped as the riding horse. You keep your eyes peeled for any movement through the jungle. I will allow one... You know what? We'll use the same perception checks. And I will say that Thylindra, when you look around the jungle, you don't see too much movement other than the occasional breeze blowing leaves, maybe a bird fluttering between branches. But when
I'm staying in wild shape for now.
Okay. When you look up, you catch a glimpse of a hunched figure perched on a narrow ledge above you. They have lean limbs and patchy fur. Their eyes sort of glint like a predator's, especially with you in the deep shade and they in the daylight high above you. You barely spy them through a hole in the tree canopy. And this individual freezes for a brief moment and then whirls and bolts along the ridge. What are all of you doing in this moment? You've all readied yourselves for combat. I would say that Thylindra, you're probably the only one to have seen this. If you want, you can convey it to your allies, and you can do something, or you can let it go. Whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, we do have a paladin and a druid wild-shaped as a riding horse. You guys can do some mounted combat stuff if you wish. I don't have
would
a
like
horse,
to hop on Thylindra and try to follow.
Okay. Ayla, uncoupling the cart really quickly, hopping onto Thylindra, and then having Thylindra carry you forward. Nyx, what are you doing? Are you following closely behind? Are you staying with the cart? How are you guys handling this? I will say, if Thylindra's got the cart on already, she's not going to be able to also carry somebody. So it'll be one or the other if you guys are doing that. But it does at least sound like you want to know what this thing is. At the very least. What are we thinking? We know Ayla's riding atop Thylindra. But do we want to go at a slower pace, or do we want to uncouple that cart and potentially leave behind some of your goodies? Oh, it's all about tough choices in
Something
D&D.
saw us and ran, guys. It looked like a humanoid creature with fur.
Yes. And you know what, Saft, as you call this out and you're sort of picturing this individual in your mind, in the split moment when you guys are weighing whether or not to ride off after it, I am going to have you make a nature check to see if you can understand what this is. Jason votes mounted night fun. He says goodies are overrated. I think that some goodies are, but man, have you had a Reese's? Hashtag
Nyx
not sponsored.
tosses the cart from Thylindra, remaining near to guard it.
Okay, so Nyx is going to stand by the cart as the other two of you begin chasing on ahead. Wow, Zazima, these rolls are crazy. Natural 20 for a 22 on a nature check. You would recognize any normal creature on that high of a check. You, because you rolled so well, recognize that this is indeed not a normal creature. This is something deeply twisted and corrupted. And because, again, you rolled so well, you can tell that whatever this is used to be a goblin, but is now it's got sharp teeth and an eye patch. You see that they've actually got 5 red claw marks where basically they've been scarred across the face. And as they move away, they're running on all fours. So whatever happened to this goblin, it has become much more animalistic and a lot faster as well. As you uncouple and begin to chase after them, Ayla on your back, Nyx watching behind you, I'm going to have all of you roll for initiative. We'll start with Ayla. Ayla, as soon as you roll, Nyx, you can roll, and then Thalendra, you can roll. We'll try and time it so the bot doesn't freak out this time. But yeah, this creature is running along the cliff ridge above you, and you're trying to use the path to track it and potentially look for a way up as you go. But a riding horse does have quite a good bit of movement. 60 feet, in fact. So there's a good chance you can catch up to this thing. It's exclamation point R initiative. Sorry. I forget sometimes that we haven't run Chat Plays D&D for a little while, so these commands get a little confusing. But we do have some changes on the horizon. I really want to give you guys a sneak peek. It's almost done. I'm hoping next week. Ooh, a 3 is not going to be so great for you guys. However, Ayla, that is your initiative, and you're riding Thalendra. So, Nyx, go ahead and roll your initiative, and hopefully Thalendra rolls well enough to get us out of the woods there, literally speaking. Okay, a 17 for Nyx, just in case. And Saft, go ahead and roll me a check. This will be, or rather, an initiative roll. Exclamation point R initiative. If you roll well enough, perhaps you will get to go first in this little chase. 21! That's what we wanted! Very nice, Thalendra. You see Ayla, as she clambers onto you, is maybe not super used to riding horseback. As you speed away, she almost slips off due to a poor initiative roll, but you are stalwart, galloping straight ahead. You are first in initiative, so now I'm going to have you just roll a d20 for me. We're going to see what sort of complications you may run into as you chase along the path, hoping to catch this goblin that you now recognize has turned into something else entirely. Matt, thanks for the 500 chaos points. I imagine that crystal's going to start moving pretty soon.
Nyx's sheet says she has +5 to initiative, but the bot only rolled +3.
Huh. Okay. Did Nyx take the alert feat or something? That might be what it is. I bet that's what happened. Let's see. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Hey, guess what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to fix that. So that's Nyx. That's character 2. And we now have... proficiency in initiative, which is essentially what alert does. Okay, there we go. That'll be fixed. Nyx with a 19. That's going to be even better than the 17. However, Thalendra's still moving first with that 8. Thalendra, as you rush forward in your riding horse form, galloping all the way, just out of the corner of your eye, as you kind of glance down to the ground, you see that there's a slick pocket of mud ahead that could slow your progress. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. So !R, dex save. As you gallop ahead, you feel your hooves begin to sink as you're sort of losing altitude, following that path down into another valley on the other side from Torvosa. You know, if you get tangled up there, you may stand no chance at catching this creature that does appear to be faster than your average bear. Okay, on a 4, unfortunately, you are going to fall prone as your feet stick into the mud. You basically just halt, and that halt sends Ayla flying off of your back, both of you falling prone onto the ground. Nyx, are you continuing to wait with the cart? If you are continuing to wait with the cart, then I will allow you to potentially move it towards the rest of the party, trying to gain some distance, or I'll allow you to maybe do a little bit of investigation on the area near you. Let me know what you'd like to do, since you're not technically a big part of the chase here yet. Thanks, Sides of Mo, for the real life chaos. Just walked in the door.
Nyx remains with the cart, keeping an eye on the area.
Okay. Russell, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll me an investigation check. No complication for you because you're not really joining the chase, but you are sort of keeping an eye on your surroundings and perhaps trying to see if there's anything else afoot. Chaos enters the camera. Wow, you guys are rolling so much better tonight than you were in session 1. 17 plus 5 for a 22. Russell, as you begin to sort of look around the immediate area, especially near the cliff where some of that like rubble tumbled down, you see that there are claw marks nearby where the creature was perched before, and near still to that, you see a tuft of its fur, sort of gray and wiry, almost sickly. And you begin to ascertain that while Thalindra was able to discover this creature is not of normal nature, you begin to put together that this kind of magic that transformed this creature is familiar to you. In a weird way, you just sense it with your investigation check. What that means, I will allow you to ponder as we now move on to Ayla. Ayla, as you have tumbled off and you are knocked prone, unfortunately, the complication of mounted chasing here, you see your friend Thalindra is prone on the ground as well. I'm going to have you roll a d20 for me, so !R d20, and we're going to see what sort of complication you may be facing on your turn. And then you can let me know what you want to do. Perhaps you want to help your friend Thalindra up. Perhaps you want to rush on ahead yourself. Okay, a 19. As you begin to clamber to your feet, you're able to see the mud quite clearly, and I'm going to say just by virtue of your 19, you're actually able to grab the reins and in a very we'll call it cathartic sequence. You're able to pull the horse out of the mud. You save them. You save them. Both of you are no longer prone. You
Never-ending
remount.
story style.
Yeah. You potentially remount Thalindra if you would like to, or you can rush on ahead. If you remount Thalindra, I'm going to say we're going to wait for Thalindra's turn for their movement. Let me know what you'd like to do here. And Thalindra, you be thinking as well. Because I'll keep it simple. I'm not going to tell you what the character or the individual you're chasing is doing. They're just going to continue to move. Metalisa, the points are building. Thank you so much for being here. I know even though you said you don't want to play, it's so nice to have you in the chat regardless. Along with the rest of you.
The horse emoji.
Okay. Ayla clambers back up onto Thalindra after hauling them out of the muck. We move back over to Thalindra, now piloted by Saft. Saft, what would you like to do? I imagine you're galloping on ahead. If that's the case, you can just roll a d20 instead of wasting a use to tell me.
BRB quickly.
Okay, sounds good, Ayla. We'll be getting around to your turn a little bit later, so you should be good to go for a little potty break or whatever needs to happen. I'm having fun posting the pictures to all this in the Discord chat. Yes, join our Discord if you haven't already. It is free to do so, and the link is in the description below. We have a lot of fun in there every day with some daily roll shenanigans and all kinds of other good stuff. Saft, in 11, as you begin to charge on ahead, keeping a firm gaze out for the pathway ahead of you, avoiding any spots of murky mud. You actually run through a cloud of biting insects. I need you to make a con save to see if you can keep yourself from being bitten by these. How thick is your skin? So it's going to be !R con save. I guess it would be flavorful for Ayla to roll this, but I would say you're pretty armored up, so you just sort of like tuck your limbs in as you move through this cloud of insects, Thalindra guiding you along the way, just hoping that she doesn't buck you off. Ooh, okay. A nat 1 means that you're going to take 5 points of piercing damage. These bugs bite hard, and as they land on you, you feel their mandibles basically dig in and break skin. Thalindra, specifically, as a wild-shaped creature, you would have 3 temporary hit points. Those are gone now, and then you're going to take 2 points of damage, bringing you down to 25 HP out of 27. So nothing too major, and you are able to continue on. What would you like to do with your turn? You haven't really had an opportunity to do this, but you have your use of your action, bonus action, whatever you'd like to do. If you'd like, you can try and ascertain a way to move up towards the ridge where this creature is. Totally your call. I will say whatever you choose to do, that'll probably end up being your action. So if you'd like to just dash ahead and try and close some distance, you can do that. Just might be running the wrong way. So that becomes a problem. I see bugs in the chat. Oh, I'm from the land of mosquitoes. I'm very familiar with them. Inspired Camel, it just dawned on me that perhaps Thalindra can turn into...
so I can smite it.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, Ayla. You are riding on Thalindra. We're waiting to see what Thalindra is doing. I don't know if I said the wrong thing. Maybe I did. But as Ayla sort of breaks through...
Whatever would allow me to close the distance, how do I check for it?
Okay, so if you want to try and just close the distance without trying to re-ascertain where this creature might be, just following the path ahead, you're just going to burn an action and dash. As you gallop on ahead, you feel as though this ridgeline must follow the mountain range, and you know well enough from your perception check earlier that this range really only guides you right along the seacoast. So you gallop ahead, confident that you will be able to catch up to this individual. And as you do, you see through the flutter of leaves above you, the holes in the tree canopy, a flicker every once in a while of a beast on all fours galloping along the ridgeline. At the last moment before its line of sight is broken with yours, it turns and connects its gaze to you, and it gets a bit wide-eyed. You see a little fear in its expression. As we move on from your turn, Nyx, what are you doing after discovering these tufts of hair and feeling a bit of arcane residue on them that you're somewhat familiar with? Again, on that natural 20. And then Ayla, you'll be next. That is instant attraction between the goblin and Thalindra. For love at first sight. It's a beautiful beast. You've never seen anything like it. For better or for worse. And before you guys get the idea, this is definitely not how you get centaurs into my world.
Or the person taking over Nyx, make a check or something to figure out what it is?
Absolutely. Russell, while we wait, oh, I see. Okay. So Russell was Nyx. I see now. I will say, yeah, absolutely. You can try and ascertain what this creature is. Nyx, because you're from that area, you and you alone can make a nature check to see if you've seen something like this before. So that's going to be !R nature. And I thought maybe I could give you an Arcana check, but I feel like this really does need to be nature. So Jason, that'll be all you, friend. Okay. On a 13, your suspicion is confirmed that this isn't a natural creature. And you feel like whatever it is somewhat dog-like. But much more than that, you're not really sure. You do maybe even see near the patches of hair like clumps of skin, like whatever transformation this was, it was rough and continues to be so. With that, Ayla, what would you like to do? Zazima, let me know as Thalindra continues to gallop underneath you. You're not going to be able to use much movement. But, oh, right. We need to roll a d20 for you. ! R, d20. I promise I won't forget. I'm so bad at these. Let's see what happens as you continue to ride upon Thalindra, moving on ahead. You won't be able to take the dash action or anything, but you can certainly try and look around and ascertain what you can use to your advantage in your surroundings. Okay. With a 4, you begin to guide the reins on Thalindra in her horse form, and keeping your eye up, looking for the creature, trying to follow their gait, you accidentally steer towards a slippery patch of moss. I need you to make a acrobatics check to see how quickly you can maneuver. Actually, we'll say animal handling. To see how quickly you can maneuver those reins back and tip Thalindra off to the slippery moss before you get there.
The dark elf rogue dressed in tight black leather follows her sister with a bottle of fire wine in her hand. Seeing the druidic goblin werewolf, she takes a swig of her fire wine and follows.
Okay, so Nyx is entering the chase now. With a 19. Thank goodness. I'm glad we're not slipping again. You barely are able to pull Thalindra off the path of this moss, where her hooves do sort of scrape for a second, finding bedrock, finding purchase, and then continuing to gallop on ahead. You lose no speed there. You certainly don't fall prone. What is it that you would like to do, Ayla, as you hear from behind you the pitter-patter of Nyx's quick footsteps as well? Very, very nice. Everyone, welcome in. I see we have quite a few viewers here in the chat. If this is your first time viewing, make sure to type !guidance to get some instructions on how to play along with us. Join in and pilot these characters. Help us steer them to victory. Or death, such is life. Also, if you're new here, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We do these Chat Plays D&D.
Either use my now to shoot it, then smite it. If I have a bow.
I actually am not sure if the Lindra has a bow. I do think you would have javelins. Or sorry, Ayla is what I meant to say. Let me double check for you. Yes, you do have javelins. So you could pull a wooden javelin off your back, and while riding
Do whatever
atop
I can
the
to
Lindra.
finish getting to this knoll.
Okay. This what? What are you talking about? I don't know what you... what? A knoll? How do you even spell that? I feel like it probably has a weird G at the start. Anyway. Ayla, you pull off a javelin and begin reeling back to hurl it. I'm going to have you make an attack roll. It's going to be...
Seeing Zalindra and Ayla riding off ahead, Nyx tries to remain swift, silent, and deadly, keeping into shadows when she can. She draws her daggers. Her amber eyes flare with fire and she target.
Okay. The creature is going to be out of range for pretty much any of your attacks after waiting for a couple of rounds, but you can begin to move stealthily ahead. Remind me when we get to your turn, I'll have you roll a stealth check to see how well you can mask your presence while moving swiftly. Ayla, I'm going to have you make an attack roll. It's going to be !R, attack, STR. Or... yeah. Attack STR. Sorry, I haven't done this one in a while. !R, attack STR. Saft, good question. You do have
Nyx's
meta
eyes
knowledge.
flare with magic as she uses her message cantrip to alert her sisters of the information gained from her nature skill check.
So it might be STR attack. Sorry, Matt. We haven't used this command in a little while, so I'm trying to remember exactly how the phrasing is supposed to go. Try STR attack for me. Jason, as you maneuver on ahead, there it is. Okay, so you put the modifier first on a non-natural 20. Ayla, you loft this javelin towards the creature that you've been able to spy through the branches. As it moves on ahead, you sail the javelin through the air, and you hear but don't see a connection with something fleshy just beyond the brush. That is a hit. I'm going to have you roll damage for the javelin, which is going to be !R, 1d6 plus... I think it's probably 3? Yes. !R, 1d6 plus 3. Let's see how much damage you do to this creature. A knoll? What's that? We don't know. Never heard of such a thing. The grassy knoll? Weird time to bring that up. Okay. 7. Very nice roll. As the javelin finds purchase in something fleshy, you hear something cry out, "Arr!" As it continues to pitter-patter forward. You see a smattering of blood
Nyx
sort of
knows she
spray
can't
against
get anywhere near Ayla and Thalindra, so she moves with drunken swiftness through the jungle, always keeping alert to any other goblin werewolves in the area.
Okay, absolutely. Nyx, I'm going to have you roll a stealth check for me, !R, stealth. And then when we roll around to your turn, we'll maybe have you roll a perception check to see if there are any more of these creatures around, or if this is the only one. Okay. With a 16, you feel like you're able to be relatively well hidden, your leathers clinging fast to the rest of your body, not making very much noise, but it is hard to move completely silent and undetected through a dense jungle like this. As we move from Ayla back to the top of the initiative, Thalindra, you hear that yelp as Ayla has just launched a javelin through the brush. As you continue to gallop ahead, I'm going to have you roll a d20 for me to see what sort of complication you may face before you take your turn. I will say both of you kind of see this smattering of dark blood against some of the foliage above you immediately after that javelin. A 4. So as you continue to rush ahead, you are able to duck pretty well under a low-hanging branch. But unfortunately, I'm going to say, Ayla, you need to make a dex save, as you are a bit taller than Thalindra, and she's maybe not used to having people ride on her back. So make a dex save for me. Exclamation point R, dex save.
Nyx whispers to herself, I am the darkness, the unseen shadow of fire and death. My enemies will not know me, they will only know the swift death I bring them.
Beautifully said. As always, Jason. Oh, Ayla. So unfortunately, you are going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as this branch smacks you in the face. I'm going to have you make an athletics check. Exclamation point R, athletics, to see if you can stay on Thalindra or if you are knocked clean off by this. I don't want to have you just drop off immediately, but that's a pretty solid knock. If any of you want to follow along with these characters and how they're looking as well, all the character sheets are linked below, so you can see what they have available. A 21, you hold strong to the reins and possibly even grip a bit of Thalindra's mane as the branch smacks you in the face, your father's helmet protecting you from much of the blow as you continue to gallop on ahead. Ayla, that was Thalindra's turn. Thalindra, what would you like to do? Sorry to pass that off to you, Ayla, but a low-hanging branch is going to smack somebody, and it's not going to be the horse underneath you, usually. So Zazima, as Thalindra continues to gallop ahead, are you trying to close the distance more, or are you trying to ascertain a way up to the ridgeline to meet this creature?
I trust my noble steed.
As well you should, Matt. Your steed is well propositioned for the exploratory nature of these wildlands.
While Ayla and Thalindra fall all over themselves, Nyx stays on her toes. She moves from tree to tree, shadow to shadow. Her fiery amber eyes scan the jungle scene, but locked onto the goblin war.
Okay. Certainly, Nyx, as you continue to move on ahead, you're sort of scanning your surroundings.
I would continue to get closer so Ayla can get into melee while keeping my vision clear.
Okay, absolutely. You continue to gallop on ahead, and as a matter of fact, as you dash, you realize that now you are running parallel with this beast, and you begin to slow your pace just enough so that you're matching gate for gate with them. You realize that you can outrun them if you need to, but you can see them through the tree line. If you run any further ahead, you're actually going to round the front of them. That can be a decision you make on your next turn, but for right now, we're going to move to Nyx. And Nyx, as you continue to scan around and look for any other threats, I'm going to have you make a perception check. Exclamation point R, perception. We'll roll your d20 afterwards to see what happens as you try and keep up with the crew. Oh my God, these natural 20s! Jason, as you look around, you take a moment to mask your presence, and because you're moving more slowly, because you feel you're in your element here, looking around you, you don't see any other creatures. You don't hear any other creatures as far as beasts that may be tracking you. You even see a few large spiders in the branches nearby, not bothering you, perhaps just capturing some of the insects off of that cloud earlier. You see a couple of birds chasing each other through the vines, but you do not see any other threats. You are sure of that. However, as you keep your gaze aloft towards the tree canopy, you lose track of your footing a bit, and as you're sort of riding that ridgeline, you start a rock slide underneath. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw or become prone and sort of tumble down the cliff here. So it's going to be exclamation point R, dex save. Yeah, next year you got a little distracted there, but you're absolutely sure that there are no other threats aside from this one creature that you can see far ahead of you. As a matter of fact, with a natural 20 perception, you can even see Thalindra and Ayla sort of riding parallel with it, preparing perhaps another attack. 20, then a 1. That's a good point, Jason. I don't know how you managed that one. Ooh, okay. On an 8, unfortunately, you are going to fall prone here, Nyx, and take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you skid and roll down the cliffside, landing flat on your feet and continuing to move forward. You no longer have that ridgeline point of vantage, but you are still following fairly closely behind your allies. I'm going to mark off that damage. It is only 1 point, but it does bring you down to 15. Remember, we didn't roll so well on Nyx's hit dice. So as we move along in the initiative, Ayla, it is now your go. You're riding parallel to the creature through the brush. You can see them. I'm going to have you roll a d20 to see what sort of complication you may face. I will say if you roll well enough, you may not face any because you did have to avoid that branch earlier. So Matt, that'll be you. Exclamation point R, you got it. You know how this works. And you picked up quick. Okay, well, yeah, there we go. That's the third nat 20 of the session. As you continue to move on ahead, after hanging on for dear life, being smacked by that branch, you begin to levy another javelin, I imagine. Let me know what exactly you'd like to do, but you are completely aware of your surroundings. There is nothing that could possibly cause any sort of disruption for you. As you continue to chase down this creature, there's no escaping you. Guys, I'm so glad you're making it over to Darkwell. I know I
Ayla would
mentioned
like
this
to
before.
throw another javelin.
Okay, then go ahead and make that attack roll. It's going to be exclamation point R, STR, attack. We know that now. As you pull
Does
out
smite
another...
belong to melee?
Smite, I believe, is a melee weapon attack or unarmed strike. Whoa, it's almost another nat 20. As you sail a javelin, following the sound that you heard before, you're able to sort of lead it just enough, watching its gait to pierce once again through one of its legs this time as it rolls into a tumble. Go ahead and roll 1d6 plus 3 to see how much damage you do to it. And I'll double check on smite, but I'm pretty sure that it is just melee and unarmed strikes. Divine Favor works for other stuff, but... How did it do just a 2? That can't be right. Or did you only roll 1d6? Ah, I see. Plus 3, so that'll be 5 total. As you hear that javelin once again pierce through the creature. Ow! Ow! As they continue to scamper on ahead, you can now see that they're actually trailing a bit of blood themselves. Even if you're not able to fell them, you may be able to track them here. As we move on from Ayla's turn back to the top of initiative, Thalindra, you continue to gallop ahead. Go ahead and roll another d20 for me. Zazima, this will be you. Yes, it's a melee weapon or unarmed strike. It's rare that I get rules right. I'm proud of myself today. Okay. On a 2, you're continuing to thunder on ahead, feeling the weight of Ayla sort of shift as she hurls that javelin. You meander a bit too close to the tree line, and there's a cluster of fallen vines that you now need to leap over, otherwise become restrained by them temporarily. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, Thalindra. It's going to be exclamation point R, dex save. I spoke too soon, I guess. Thanks for the pups command there, Inspired Camel. Yes, we love our puppers. Oh no! A 4! You guys are running the gamut between like super high rolls and super low rolls. As you continue to thunder ahead, trying to keep pace with this individual, unfortunately, you are ensnared in vines and you have to use your little horse teeth to sort of chip away at them before you can free yourself. That is going to mean you're not able to move for this round, but you can still act after freeing yourself from these vines. What would you like to do, Thilindra? The creature does appear to still be within range when it rolls back around to Ayla's turn because you had gotten even with them, but it's going to take a little bit for you to catch up to them again. Yeah, no middle ground for rolls tonight. We're not taking any prisoners. These dice are crazy. Yeah, no, I mentioned it last stream, but we've actually been planning a trip to Darkwell for some time now, even from our very first campaign. And for some reason, the players never wanted to go there.
I will get myself free of the vines, then try to get back to the goblin.
Okay, unfortunately, you don't have any movement remaining, but you are able to free yourself from those vines. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like to do, any checks you'd like to make, but that aside, as you free yourself from these vines, we're going to move our view back over to Nyx. Nyx, roll a d20 for me as you continue to try and stealth on ahead after tumbling down the cliff, following the trail left behind by Thilindra's hoof prints. Okay, Zazima, if you'd like to roll perception, it's !R perception. I should maybe make alternate commands so that it catches stuff like that.
How far away is this creature from me in feet approximately?
That's a good question. I would say, given the speed at which they've been running and the fact that you stayed behind for a couple of rounds, I'm going to say that they're probably about 180 feet away from you. Pretty far ahead. They've been dashing every turn. You started to dash as well, but they had a few rounds on you. I'll say that's because you got that nat 20 on perception as well. Okay, and Thilindra with the 24 perception. There's the good roll. As you continue to look out ahead, I'm going to say that you can see the creature is moving a bit more slowly, and as the mountain pass begins to veer away from the slender path that you all wander, and I'll show you this, it begins to sort of open up into a larger expanse of forest towards the west of Torvosa. You can see that the creature is trying to get into these pillars of rock to maybe get away from all of you, break line of sight, and just clear off and hide. So you see that coming up on the horizon. You know that you've probably only got a couple more chances to catch this individual, if that is indeed your goal. So Nyx, knowing that this individual is quite a ways away from you,
Use half my movement to stand from prone and cunning action dash.
Okay. Great idea. So you can actually, if you want, you can double dash, and I would allow that, absolutely. You begin to catch up. You begin to gain on this creature, rushing behind, knowing exactly where the path is, the safe path as marked by Thilindra's hoof prints. You continue on ahead. I missed your D20 roll, but because you're sort of lagging behind and because you took that tumble before, following the safe path that Thilindra left for you, I'm going to say that you face no problems there. We move on to Ayla. Ayla, Thilindra frees herself underneath you. You continue to gallop on ahead. You have fallen a bit behind this individual, but they're barely within javelin range if you would like to make another attack. If not...
Yeah, double dash exactly.
Perfect. In that case, Saft, I'm going to say that by the end of your turn, the creature is now, we'll say, if you use half your movement to stand up, I believe dash adds your actual movement. We'll just round up because you're double dashing, and I'm going to say they're only 90 feet away from you. Ayla, Go ahead and roll a d20 for me and be thinking about what you want to do as Thalindra continues to gallop you ahead down this forest path. So exclamation point R, d20. We're going to see what sort of trouble you may get into. Okay, 16. As you continue to gallop on Thalindra, Thalindra leaps onto a log and tries to catapult over a bit of moist ground. However, the log begins to collapse underfoot. She doesn't notice it yet, but you have the opportunity maybe to steer her over to a pile of rocks that's more solid footing. Go ahead and, in this case, I'm going to have you make a intelligence saving throw. So exclamation point R, int save. This is going to be to see how well you can determine what you should do in that moment. 16 is going to do it. Indeed, you see that patch of sort of rock and rubble that you normally would want to avoid because it's a bit uneven, but you bring Thalindra into sort of a trot, and she instantly catches your meaning as the log gives way underneath her. Spores sort of spew out from the fresh hole that's created, but her legs are free and she continues to gallop forward. What would you like to do, Ayla, as you begin to regain a bit of ground on this creature that is shambling ahead towards a field of rock and debris where they may be able to break line of sight and hide from you all? Give you the slip. But perhaps not if you have anything to say.
Can I throw a javelin and use ensnaring strike if it hits?
I'm pretty sure you can. I think ensnaring strike doesn't require melee, but let me double check. I know this is one that got some changes in 2024, so I want to be real about this one. Yeah, hitting with a weapon. So you can totally do that. As you pull back your javelin, vines begin to creep along the haft of it, and you sail it. Go ahead and roll an attack roll for me. Exclamation point R, STR, attack. And hopefully those vines can hold them still. A 15. A 15 this is the first one I actually need to double check. Will exactly hit. As you launch this javelin through the air, it sails and the vines make it a little bit harder to guide its path. But as they do ripple on ahead, you just wait for the sound and you hear that telltale flesh echoing thud as then the vines begin to creep across the rock and you hear the creature beginning to yelp in earnest in response. I'm going to have you roll 1d6 plus 3, and then ensnaring strike, I believe, means that they need to make a strength saving throw. So 1d6 plus 3 is the only damage you'll get from this. But this could mean something for you. Okay. On a 4, you deal 4 points of damage, the minimum amount. However, you are consoled by the fact that you hear the creature's continued yelps and whines, making you realize that they are in fact pinned and restrained by the vines coming out from your javelin. As you round the corner, you see another break in the brush, and just on the edge of a cliffside where the creature was attempting to leap across a small gap, you pinned them with the javelin up against the wall as the vines have sort of wrapped around them and are now duct taping them there. Ayla, I'm going to mark off that spell slot for you. Ensnaring strike. There. I got to keep track of these. I got to keep for now. Eventually, this may be automatic. So, with that, Ayla, we move on from your turn. Thalindra. Sorry, I marked off the spell slot for Ayla, not Thalindra. Thalindra, it is your go once again. Roll me a d20 as you see the creature is now held in place. You begin to close the gap. Let's see exactly what sort of challenge you may face in the last stretch of this chase. You feel quite confident. Okay. As you begin to turn a corner, you do see a rocky pathway leading up towards where the creature is pinned. However, what you don't see as you round the corner is a narrow ledge that sort of juts out from along the cliff wall. I need you to make an acrobatics check to see how well you can leap over it in just that split second. So, exclamation point R, acrobatics. And I know technically you'd be using the riding horse's stats, but I could not figure out a way to do that for Druid.
I use a luck point for that roll.
Okay, so add the modifier at the end of that command, ADV. So exclamation point R, acrobatics, ADV, and it'll roll that at advantage for you. I did figure out how to do that, thankfully. I'll mark off the luck point. Okay, it did give you advantage, right? If it did give you, 19 and 5. Nice. So a 21 as you leap into the air, thud back down, and continue to charge ahead. You can close on this creature, and I will allow you to make an attack roll if you would like, Thalindra, as the horse. So now that Zazima is back in the pilot's seat, no eligible users to assign currently. So if you're here in chat, make sure you're staying active. It'll only select you if you've been active in the last 5 minutes, and make sure you opt in using the roleplay command. Okay, a D20 on the riding horse. A 19 is definitely going to hit as you rear back and begin to slam down with your hooves. You technically would have even had advantage because the creature is restrained right now. Now that you're close, you can see just how beaten and battered this once goblin is. Go ahead and roll 1d8 plus 3 bludgeoning damage from your hooves, Thalindra. Yeah, Matt, it's unfortunately pretty mean about it. Ooh, 6. Okay.
Encapsulated by the storytelling.
Thank you, man. I'm encapsulated by all of your storytelling too. This is really cool. Now, I don't know. This is not really this is kind of a homebrew rule that I run. But when you are dealing non-lethal damage, you have to declare it, and it does half damage automatically because you're trying to be a little more gentle. I will say that as you rear back and slam this hoof into the face of this once goblin creature, you see the somewhat fresh 5 scars across its face reopen as blood begins to gush out. They were bloodied before this, and they're looking pretty rough now, but they are still up as they're scrambling against the thorny vines. I will say that it is actually their turn, and I believe Ensnaring Strike is going to do damage to them. Yeah, they remake it at the start. The start? Yes. Oh, no, they use an action to remake the save. But they're going to automatically take those 6 points of piercing damage. Ayla, this was yours. If you would like to roll a d6. Let me know how much damage is being done to this individual as they scramble against the vines, trying to release themselves. With an 18 on the die, they are going to break free, but I don't know how much good that's going to do them. 5. Okay. As the creature wriggles and writhes, it's able to escape, and as it leaps away, trying to move past all of you before you even have a moment to act, you see one of the vines catch along their arm and just rip across their chest. It's the last bit of pain and agony that this creature needs before they tumble into the dirt before you, unconscious. I will let you know, this creature is no longer moving. They are stable, they are unconscious, but they are not stable. we're not going to be an initiative anymore as Nyx now kind of catch up to the rest of the party. What are all of you doing in this moment? Are you letting this person go to death saves, or are you potentially trying to recuperate them? Are you just finishing the job? Are you searching their person? What would you like to do here?
Thylindra would like to heal and interrogate.
Okay. What do you use to heal? Are you cure wounds? I imagine that you may have a few leftover good berries from the day before. And for what it's worth, I do allow force feeding good berries in my campaigns, even though it's not rules as written, I don't believe.
Thylindra would like to barter the good berries for information.
Okay. You shove a good berry into the creature's mouth, which the skin of it sort of breaks as soon as it enters their or breaks past their gums. Along their jagged teeth, you see the contents of that good berry spill out into their somewhat bloodied mouth. And as the juices seep down the back of their throat, they
A cunning action dash, use full movement and look to loot the furry fiend's goods.
Okay. Saft, I'm going to have you roll a sleight of hand check because they are sort of waking up as you get there. And I'm going to see how well you can rob them of any valuables they may have on their possession. Although you see, they're not wearing much in the way of clothes. Basically, a simple loincloth and a small leather pauldron on a strap that runs the length down to their side. But as they begin to wake after Thylindra's goodberry force feeding, he... What was that about? What the hell? What do you want with me? It's got an E in it. SLIEGHT of hand. EIGHT. Yeah, I suck at knowing which comes first as well. Sleite or
Why were you watching us?
I was just keeping an eye out, you know? There's a lot of stuff going on in these woods, and who knows what could be coming my way. This is my home. You're on my turf. Okay. Hey, hands off, little cretin. That's my stuff. As you sort of reach a hand around, trying to reach into the one small pouch they have on that leather strap hanging off their leather pauldron, you're not quite able to get it open before they notice you, but you do slip the pouch open, and you can see within it is a small bound piece of paper, as well as the glitter of a few coins. Jeez, coming to my turf and then trying to take my lunch? Can I help you? Tell you what, you pack quite a punch. Just hurling pointy sticks at people, is that what you do?
You seem fairly injured. Are you going around causing trouble?
Rats.
No, Mr. or Mrs. Horse. I'm, just living my life as we all do in the wilds. What do you want from me? Why did you just attack me? Looking's not against any law that I'm aware of. In response to Matt's question, before he was...
Why did you run?
I saw you all looking at you specific. I made eye contact with. It's not every day you see a talking horse, you know. I was spooked. What do you want? What do you want from me? Yeah, inspired camel. Got money eyes. Suspicious individual spooked by a talking horse after spying on them from a cliff. Depends on if you guys are buying that. Did we just profile an excessive
I thought
force
you
someone?
were nearly a corpse. Were you looking to report us to superiors?
No! Why? What makes you say that? I answer to no one. I'm on my own. I live here. Go ahead. I will say, with this very pointed line of questioning, roll a insight check for me. Saft, I'll say, you were in Nyx's slot. Actually, you know what, Matt? I think that's gonna do just fine. Oh my gosh. Yeah, between both of you, I'll say Nyx, at first you're kind of like, well, I did try and rob the guy. He was maybe suspicious of all of us, but we are kind of a ragtag group. But then you look over to Thalindra, and she's looking like the horse from Tangled, where you're just kind of up close and like fully inspecting the facial features of this individual. You can tell that not only are they hiding something, but they are outright just trying to grasp at any straws they can conversationally to get away from all of you. Not only were they running without good reason, but they are looking for the first opportunity to do so again. They are certainly not telling you the truth. I'm going to say as well, when you kind of get close to them and you see their facial expression, you see the blood sort of still
Listen, you're
trickling.
suspicious and we could have killed you. What are you hiding?
You could have killed me. Thanks for not. I guess make an intimidation check with advantage. Exclamation point R intimidation. ADV. Add the ADV at the end. He spill the beans, Boblin. Hey, let's see if they can withstand that. Listen, I want to live, but if you're going to kill me, you might as well do it. Because I tell you what, I do answer to someone. And he sort of points to the scars on his face. And if you think that killing me is going to get you any favors with them, you got another thing coming. If they don't hear back from me, you all are toast. How you like that? Kill me if you want. But you die too. Damn brutes. Don't got much brains, I guess. How do you take this from this patchy-haired goblinoid creature? You can see their skin, while still has patches of green, has mostly desaturated to like a mottled gray. What do you all say to...
Ayla holds her sword to the goblin's neck and tells him we don't take kindly to threats.
I will ask what is the paper in your pouch and maybe we will let you go. What do you think, girls?
I turn to my sisters and ask them what they want to do with him.
Well, as you turn Thalindra and ask what they want to do, Ayla makes that threat, and then Nyx sort of cocks her head from behind and offers up the paper. I will say, Nyx, because you're kind of getting the help action from Ayla's intimidation here, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Exclamation point R, persuasion. If you want, you can change it to deception if you are intending to kill them regardless, but I'll leave that up to you. Just keep in mind, add advantage, so just add ADV to the end of that command. You guys are really getting into character for this, and I really, really enjoy what you're doing with these stories. Oh, don't forget advantage. So roll one more time. Don't put advantage on this one. We'll take the 4 as the first roll. But you do have advantage on that because you're getting help from Ayla. Yeah, this poor goblin never saw what was coming here. So Zazima, one more. There we go. Oh, that's even worse. How? Okay. As the goblin looks out, you want what I got in my pocket, you have to kill me for it. I ain't talking. I learned the hard way that loose lips sink ships. And he sort of motions towards the bay where you saw like the ship that's split in two. You all would know that it's been that way for close to, I guess it would be 40 years, roughly. What do you all do? He's not convinced. Even at advantage, even being threatened with his life basically forfeit, he's not going to make this easy on you. He's got a little bit more guts than you would expect from a creature his size. Rockahordal doesn't answer to no one. No one but the one that gave me this. Ooh, Matt giving some chaos there.
Ayla restrains the goblin and tells Nyx to grab the paper.
Okay. As Ayla begins to restrain the goblin, I'm going to have you... I know this is technically a grapple. I'm going to have you just make an athletics check. So exclamation point R, athletics. I will tell you the DC is very low. They did not roll well. Okay, luckily they rolled very poorly. That 9 is going to do it for you as you restrain them. Hey, let me go! Hey, I said you're going to have to kill me for it! Nyx, you move forward with stunning precision, unclipping the pouch and pulling out the bound scroll of paper. You do see some gold and silver within the pouch as well. If you'd like to take that now, let me know. But otherwise, if you'd like to take a look at the paper, you can. You have it in your possession now. Oh yeah, that 19 is definitely enough to slip out the paper and the gold if you would like. I'm gonna add
How
an
about
extra
you
8
take
gold
us to your leader, and in return you get to keep your life?
You think they're gonna let me live? Oh, you're about as dumb as you look. Stupid horse.
I would like to leave the gold and inspect the paper.
Okay, so you leave the gold in the pouch, feeling a little bit of honor among thieves, perhaps. As you unfurl the paper, what you find within is written in thieves' cant, a phrase that would normally mean nothing. I'm going to say what you read, what would normally read as mud is thick as water follows. What you know this to mean is keep a lookout for any interference from Torvosa. Don't ask me how you get all that from such a short phrase, but you do. Along the paper, it is clearly marked with a spatter of what looks like blood, but you know that blood dries brown and it is still red. Perhaps paint made to look red or perhaps something else, but there are 5 streaks just like the marks along this goblin knoll's face. This appears to be a set of orders from someone that they answer to. Now you have your answer. They were keeping a lookout for any interference from Torvosa, and they found some. Had you let them go, they might have brought that information back. As you kind of look over it, he looks to you. It's a poem I was writing. It's nothing. It's nothing. What are you all doing with this information? Nyx, luckily you pulled this out and had the thieves' cant ready to go. What do we got, friends? Actually, you know what? I think in this situation, you guys might want a little bit of time to ponder what you're going to do next. So, at this point, about halfway through our session, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Make sure to stick around for the raffle where you can get some chaos points for yourself to help construct some chaos for later on in the session. We'll see you in just a bit. Bye.
Oh, terribly sorry. I didn't know anyone would be here while the stream was running. Give me a moment to tidy up. It's much better. Well, while you're here, we might as well take a moment to thank all of our members for supporting the channel and bringing this stream to life. A huge thanks to Tides of Mo, Tabletop Beard, Grim Reaper, Atmos Seeker, Justinian of Darkport, Angel Jobert, Angel of Darkport, Brett Venable, Dutin 103, Zebek Longfang, Lil Tired, Memebot 69000, XIVM, Jason Miller, Corey of Darkport, Devin Beard, Wilfredo Figueroa, Ruby Rod, Sam Huffpower, Daniel Struve, Agile Monk, Moon Goose McQueen, Jude Eshett, Russell Mooney, Licia Harding, Saft 911, Jason, Defiant Chaos, James Carr, Felsi, Dan Stuffin' Things, Lothos Carpathia, Justin Channels, Patton, White, Electric Werecat, Mr. Giaton, Athicor, Daniel Calderon, Nigel Sandler, Jason Rapper, Nicolon Oxendy, Rika X, Coca Demonis, C. Salamander, Drazani, Alex Kruger, Michael Castile, Patricia Van Curler, Rice in Soup, Rolf the Dragon Doge, Blizzard King, Geblin Gabagool, Tyler Dan, Chowder, Chris Hillier, Dowan Vaughn, Vinny Salsa, NKLO, I Know What You Did Last Roll, Matt Buchanan, Core, Renarius Ash Kevrin, Zap Transfer, Blue Perry, Alphabet Apostate, Sugar Cube, Brother Neil, Chef O'Death, D.H., The Lovely Scrub, Zap 4, Deathbird EX, D'Angelo Barton, Geeko, Logan Keller, Artificial Duck, Sean Rim, Terrence Thompson, Ira Wing, Ashik, McFry, Braden Nail, Joe Tipton, Hellhound, Primal Kane, T. Rito, Reddit, Chuck, Luffy, Lions, Wolf Uzamike, Wisdra, Bot, Threated D, The Drow 29, The Azure Sky, Bacon and Vodka, Chris Nelson, XRP General, and Potato Bob. You know, members get tons of unique benefits as well, like these weekly shoutouts and emojis that they can use in the stream chat, and a heaping helping of chaos points that can be used to, well, perhaps it's better to show you.
Welcome to Constructed Chaos, a D&D live play channel where you get to control the game. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time for our in-person live stream that allows you to influence our adventures in major ways. From alternate plot points to rerolls to absolute chaos. And tune in on Mondays at 7 for our brand new Chat Plays D&D format where you get to roll the dice and pilot the characters themselves straight from the live stream chat. And between it all, there's tons of homebrew content and guides that we release every single month. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Greetings, viewers. Bramble Backfoot hopping by to let you know about our monthly homebrew packets issued to all those brave enough to join the ranks of our prestigious order. With a plethora of items, monsters, mechanics, and more, it's easier than ever to bring chaos home to your table. So become a member and let's fight the forces of evil together.
Thank you, you're all too kind, and the drinks are on me tonight! Ha 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 ha! Oh, you must not have enabled gifted memberships! Let me show you how. Ha 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 ha! What you'll want to do is make your way over to our channel page and then add /allow_gifts. From there, you can turn on the toggle for free stuff and join in the chaos. Ha ha ha! Now for my next tune, a little ditty about a dead necromancer named Pinky.
Hello, Drazad here. Oh my god, you have got to come check out all of our wares. We have so many different things. Help support the stream and get yourself some new magic items as well over at the Constructed Chaos store.
Perfect beard brew, perhaps lizard wart, or giant scorpion venom, and a watcher's eye stalk. And just a little dust of undryness. Not one of those crafting table! Smells pretty good, actually. Fireball! Bring home the chaos of juniper forest and magical embers with my own personal beard products in partnership with Tabletop Beard. Bear Dritz here, letting you in on a little-known ranger secret that'll keep you satiated in the wild, even when you have no rations left. Ew, not that. I'm talking about subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon. It's easy to miss the signs of a stream going live if you're not prepared. So make sure to do that and... What was that? Hold it right there, adventurer. We're looking for some deviants that refuse to like this video while they're still watching. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this heinous crime, would you? Well then, as you were, but stay out of trouble.
It appeared out of thin air when they found it, as if by the will of the plains themselves. A curious and mysterious bauble that has turned up time and time again throughout the ages. Some have studied it all their lives, hoping to unravel its uniquely fascinating magical properties. Many more have used its power for their own, though all falling victim to fate in the end. Now, it calls to you, by chance, by destiny, by desire, it matters not. It calls to you, and it calls to be cast from your palm, so that it might deliver unto you the unknown wonders held within.
How much longer are they going to... excuse me. Are they still not back? Wait there just a moment. I'll fetch them for you. The little chaos gremlins. You have people waiting, you know!
Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations to Zazima on the 1,000 chaos points. Spend them wisely, my friend. Enjoy them and enjoy the rest of this session as we get back into a Decay in Darkwell. Our adventurers continue to question this individual and ascertain exactly what they're doing here. After pulling out the slip of paper written in Thieves' Cant, you essentially find instructions from some higher power to keep an eye out for any individuals coming from Torvosa. And you all fit the bill. So, with them handily in your clutches, as Ayla continues to grapple them, what do you do with Graka Hordal, the once goblin, now gnoll-ish creature with 5 claw marks scarred across their face? Russell, you're still piloting Ayla. The Zima, you're Nyx, and the Lindra is Saft. Welcome in, Tom Servo. Good to have you along. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like the video and subscribe. We run these Chat Plays D&D campaigns, or sessions rather.
I'm back, lol.
Welcome back, Zazima, and congrats on the 1,000 points. Renarius, welcome into the roleplay pool. We'll see if you get selected here soon. There's not too many people in line, so good chance to jump in and determine the path this adventure will take. What are you all doing with your fresh caught goblinoid prisoner? I knew he was a gnoll. What are you talking about, Saft? What are you talking about? What are you all thinking here as you continue to hold tight to Graka Hordal, as he proclaimed himself a bit earlier? Had some time to mull it over. All of you have received your own clues in your own ways.
Head into the nearest town and find the guard captain if they are there.
Okay, so I will say, Nyx, having made this trek before, you know that there is nothing in terms of a settlement between Torvosa and Darkwell. It is those two places. So if you're going to the nearest town, you need to take them all the way back to Torvosa, which would probably cost you about a day given the ground that you've covered thus far. Let me know if that's absolutely what the adventurers want to do. If not, you have a bit of a conundrum on your hands. Who's number 1, 2, and 3, so I know who's who? John, good night, man. Thanks for tagging along with us. Good to have you for the adventure and for that chase scene.
We can't go back to Torvosa.
Yeah, the Lindra weighs in as the creature then begins to look between all of you. I look. Like I said, I just had a little bit of poetry on me. I haven't done anything wrong, really. You let me go, and
You've given us your name and failed in your mission. If your boss is as bad as you claim, your only chance at life is to flee Zashutan, Ayla tells the goblins.
Then we
Well,
must carry on to the other place.
Ayla, that is a very, very persuasive argument. I love the way your mind is thinking, so go ahead and roll me persuasion at advantage. ! R persuasion ADV. That is a very compelling argument. See if you can break their loyalty to this individual. What the heck? Renarius is now slotted in. Sorry, I couldn't read it. Sometimes those letters are a little hard for me to read on my screen. Renarius, you will be rolling this persuasion check. ! R persuasion ADV. 19! Hell yeah. With that, the goblin sort of like looks around. You see something click in their mind, almost as if a spell is broken. Not maybe in a literal sense. Perhaps it's hard to tell exactly. But you see there's a look of recognition in their expression as they... Oh, shit. You let me go, I'll be out of your hair. Maybe you're right. Maybe my best chance is to just flee north through the mountains. I can still make a life for myself in the wilds. I heard Joriku's nice this time of year. Is that enough to convince you? Specifically Ayla, because you're holding on to them. I imagine you whisper that threat or that little bit of insight into their ear as you continue to grapple them. What do you do here, Renarius?
BTW, it's my birthday tomorrow, and winning the raffle is an awesome birthday present.
Dracula, happy birthday! Happy birthday, man. I hope it's a great one. I hope you really enjoy yourself, and we're enjoying having you. So, very glad to contribute to that fun as you contribute to our chaos. Russell is tuned into the goings on of the other campaigns. If you guys are interested, all of these adventures do tie in together, including to our weekly campaigns where we play in person. You guys can influence that game. But this is really your most direct line to influencing the world, and Russell's got the right idea.
Shall we take this deadweight with us to get more info? I asked the others.
Like you said, I'm dead as a doorknob if you take me back to Darkwell. I can't go to Torvosa. They'll kill me there too. I'd really appreciate if you let me go. I gave you everything I know. Might have taken a little bit of prying, but perhaps he gave you everything. Who knows? What could be the right answer here? Is there a right answer? Is there a wrong answer? What would you all like to do? Seems like Ayla's a bit conflicted. Perhaps her righteous tenets coming into conflict with a bit of reality. To succeed in your mission, bringing along this dead weight could complicate things.
Let him go and run for the north.
Yeah, you let me go, I'm gone. I'm splitting right up the mountains. Obviously, I can't go south. There's water there. Torvosa and Darkwell on either side. I'll take my chances with whatever mountain lions I encounter. Maybe I don't even make it far. Who knows? That's not really your problem anymore. Just let me go. I'll scamper off. I'll have my own life. You know, maybe just live in the wilds. I don't even need like a tent, like, you know, just a cave somewhere. Matt Steely demands blood from chat. So Nyx is a vote to let him go. Ayla's undecided as of thus far. Thelindra as Saft, you can, Saft, Thelindra said to let him go. Russell, if you would like, you can be the tie-breaking vote. Nyx has not fully weighed in here. I don't want to do anything without fully having the party's blessing. Bit of a moral conundrum. The trolley problem, sort of. Not really, though. Kind of, if you think about it. What do we think? Russell? If I don't hear from you, I'm going to accept it as compliance. Thelindra has spoken. Ayla is undecided, but is starting to loosen her grip. And as the Lindra pushes Ayla's decision over the edge, she lets go.
If you two want to release him, I'll agree.
And with that, she releases him. He hits the ground and begins scampering off. As he makes it to the rocks, you can see a panic that was hiding just behind his eyes. And that facade of confidence evaporates as soon as his feet find soil and he's gone. Taking off towards the north, as you all spoke about, but who's to say if he kept his word or not? As you all allow this creature to escape into the wilds, you make your way back towards the cart that you left behind, finding that it has been undisturbed since where you left it. And then, as you recouple the cart to Thalindra's horse form, the overlook begins to fade behind you, and the path suddenly pitches into a steady slope that seems to fall forever into the deeper jungle. Hard-packed dirt begins to give way to more of that slick mud underfoot. Above, the canopy thickens into a tangled shroud that swallows most of the daylight. The world around you is heavier, the shadows deeper. It's a far cry from the wilds that you've explored on your journey so far. I will say that at this point, Thalindra, your riding horse wild shape will shift away. You've made some good progress with the cart and maybe held onto that shape for longer than is normal. But at this point, if you want to continue doing that, you'll have to rewild shape. It is a hand cart, so you all can continue to move it that way, but I will leave that choice up to you. And I will assume you're in the same marching order as earlier, which was Thalindra, Ayla, and then Nyx bringing up the rear. Matt asks, was it a goblin or a gnoll? Something in between, perhaps. Oh, absolutely. The draft horse would pull that cart easily. However, you lose your wild shape after a certain amount of time. So I think that the Lindra's wild shape would drop unless you guys want to basically re-up it and use another wild shape use. That will be up to you. I don't want to force you to burn through those resources.
Let the wild shape evaporate, go to hand pulling.
Okay. As you begin to hand pull the cart, you make it down that descent and you continue to lead the way. I'm going to have you make one more survival check for me, Saft, as Thalindra. So !R survival as you lead the way trying to get towards Darkwell. Yeah, who's to say if that was a goblin or a gnoll? I did say it was goblin at one point. I do like to try and blur the lines between what a creature's denomination is, especially when you look at what sort of magical creatures exist, right? I think we don't necessarily make sense of that. We know what a squirrel is, but we might not know what a feathered squirrel is, you know? Saft, shit. With a 9, you're able to follow the path for a time, but eventually the path begins to open up to like this muddy expanse with trees sort of scattered in, and you have a hard time not only finding the way ahead, but finding solid ground as the handcart behind you jolts, groans, and then begins to sink with a wet slurp. The ground beneath turns from soft dirt to clinging mud muck. The wheels spin uselessly as you try to pull it out, half submerged. The weight of Bramble's essential supplies drag it deeper still. The humid air begins to thicken, and you hear the rising buzz of flies gathering in lazy spirals around you now that you've slowed from your pace before. What would you all like to do as this cart is no longer just simply rolling across the muck? Call it a noblin. I think that should be canon. That might be Who knows? That might be a stat block that I put into our monthly homebrew packets. If you guys are interested, becoming a member gets you access to all of those homebrew packets. We have 7 of them now, including things like homebrew classes, items, stat blocks, all kinds of cool stuff. This is just like my cousin Vinny. What all would you like to do as the cart sinks into the muck? The wheels just barely visible now as the weight of it continues to push down. Without this, you're not going to have much in the way of rations aside from what you can create with castings of Goodberry and the like. Not to mention the cots, the teapots, the 50 foot of lucky rope. What are you going to do? What are we thinking? We got Renarius in as Ayla, Russell in as Nyx, and Saft as Thalindra.
We have to work together and pull.
Okay. Thalindra suggests this to the rest of the party as I imagine you all begin to gather around, giving a curt nod.
Is there anything in the cart we can use to free it?
That's a great question. Nyx, you see the 10-foot pole, which is basically 2 5-foot sticks, quite sturdy, bound together, sturdier than any of the rotted branches in this section of the forest. You can definitely use that maybe to pry it out if you would like. If you all are doing that and you are using that 10-foot pole, makeshift 10-foot pole, I will have Thalindra, who suggested this, roll athletics at advantage. Yeah, Zazima, chaos is on. However, we have not basically set it up to where we can do chat rolls just yet in terms of the advantage, bless, inspiration that we do in our normal campaigns. I just felt like it would be too much to keep track of, especially for people that are popping in and out of the stream. But maybe eventually we'll do that. Okay, here comes that athletics roll. Okay, a +0, but an 18 on the die, as with the help of your friends, you are able to free the cart. However, as you do this, there is a sudden surge of movement that ripples through the muck that the cart was stuck in. Just beside it, before you can react, a massive serpent erupts from the mud in a shower of black water and shredded reeds, its scales slick and shining as it lunges with a violent I'm going to have all of you roll for initiative. Just like we did before, Ayla, you'll go first. After that, Nyx, you can roll, and then Thalindra, you can roll. As we enter another round of initiative. So Renarius, go ahead and roll. I'll use this opportunity to show off our new minis. We got Ayla here. I can get it to focus. Nice. 17 from Renarius for Ayla. Looking solid here. As we move on to Nyx. Got Nyx here. I love a rogue that isn't just dressed in all black. This came out so good. I really enjoyed painting these. Looks like a 15 for Nyx. And then a 14 for Thalindra. Let me punch that in. Great rolls, guys. Okay. As we begin our initiative, I'm going to place you guys whereabouts I think you would be located, given everything that was happening. I think, Thalindra, you're the one that made the check. You'd be the closest to the hand cart. And Nyx, you're going to be here. Sorry, I'll turn on the camera in just a moment so you guys can see this battlefield I have set up for you. Got to keep you in suspense. There we go. So this is your group, and the snake is massive. as it leaps out of the muck towards your group. First in the initiative is actually going to be Ayla with her 17. Ayla, what would you like to do against this snake as it hisses down at you, towering over you after bursting through the muck? I will let you know, Nyx, you're on deck. So be thinking about what you'll want to do with your turn and keep this thing moving. Yeah, Nyx came out so cool. I didn't even get to show you guys the Lindra. I was too busy setting up. But you see her out there. She looks good too. I didn't have very many druid minis, so now I do. I feel like every rogue I've ever done...
I'll hiss back as I attack.
As you attack... Okay, yeah. Ayla, as you hiss back at it, what are you attacking with? This will kind of determine your setup for the round here. I do believe you have a longsword or a maul. The maul is probably your higher damage weapon if you want to break that out and start swinging on it. If that's the case, just go ahead and make an attack roll using your strength, just like before. Exclamation point R, STR, attack. We're going to see if you hit. Yeah, I love a rogue that's a little bit colorful. Definitely didn't have much of that, and I always have a hard time deciding what sort of colors I should use for it, but you guys picked out some really good ones. Pink and blue is not something I would normally use together, but it looks so nice. Nice roll! As you break out your maul, hiss back, and then swing up in an uppercut, you catch its jaw, causing it to clamp down. Its tongue actually gets a little bit stuck in its mouth before it's able to suck it back in. I'm going to have you roll exclamation point R, 2d6 plus 3 is going to be your damage. Unless you'd like to pump a smite into this thing, totally your call. If you want to pump a smite in, just roll 2d8 along with that. Renarius, you've been around for a while, so you know how the dice equation works. As Ayla grips her maul firmly, thrusting it up, the metal of it cleaving into the underjaw of this snake. It's much more exposed and vulnerable than the scales on top of its body. It's got sort of a pale underbelly. $18 damage, and that it is with a smite. As you strike it, there's a loud crack like thunder, but following it is not the blue flash of lightning. It is rather the radiant gold of daylight as shadows are cast in long streaks emanating from this point throughout this neck of the woods. You can see exactly how corroded and decrepit this area is as the light then begins to fade, dealing 18 points of damage to this creature. It reels back in response. We now move from Ayla's turn to Nyx. Nyx, what would you like to do? Ayla, I'm going to mark off.
I use fairy fire around the serpent, then I use my movement and cunning action to get into hiding.
Okay. As you see Ayla connect and that light flashes, you reach up, gather some of the light, throw it down onto the creature itself, trying to force it to stay illuminated so that your allies can hit it more easily. That's going to be a 16 on the die from it. I think it's going to save against your DC. So unfortunately, the light does not cling to the creature as well as you hope. It is swallowed instead by the muck and glistening off the scales as it fades. The creature turns its sights to you as you scamper around. Let's see. Oh, Circle of the Moon does allow you to cast certain spells from your wild shape form. You're right. I forgot about that. Thank you, Saf, for the $5 and for the rules point out. As you use your cunning action to get into hiding, I think the closest thing that you could get behind from this distance, there's a tree, actually, just to the south of you. And so as you fairy fire, you sort of scamper back, and I'll say you're able to get around this tree, and much like Bramble's burrow, there's sort of a hole underneath the roots, a la Lord of the Rings in the Fellowship of the Ring, where they're hiding in that sort of gap between the road and the roots. That's where you tuck yourself. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me. Exclamation point R, stealth. And I will have to mark off your spell slot, even though the creature saved. It is a sad reality. Oh, it's just a use at least. You didn't use a spell slot. Okay, with a 19, you feel pretty well hidden. That flash sort of masked your escape, almost like a ninja throwing down a smoke bomb. You launch yourself into this hiding spot, leaving your allies to fend off against this snake as it comes to its turn in the initiative. The snake hisses, looking down towards... Yeah, I'm going to say looking down towards the creature that has damaged it thus far, even though it hissed back. Ayla, it is going to swing in for a bite, missing easily wide without you moving. It then curls around and constricts you. I'm going to have Ayla make a strength saving throw. So, Ayla, exclamation point R, STR, save. And we're going to see what happens to you here. Ooh, unfortunately, Ayla, that is not going to be enough as the snake swims across the ground, slithering around you, tightening its grip. You are going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you now have the grappled condition as the snake's grip begins to tighten around you. Ayla, 13 points is quite significant, even for you, bringing you down to just 15 HP. Now that the snake has you grappled, it is also going to make a bite attack on you. Rolling to hit. A 15 does not hit you, even though you're grappled. As it swings in for a bite, you're able to position your maul between its upper and lower jaw, keeping it from clamping down. It recoils again with a hiss, its tongue flicking out at you as it continues to constrict and hold you in place. We move on from your turn to Thalindra. Thalindra, what would you like to do? Your friend is grappled by a snake right next to you. My rings are across the table. I have to go grab them. Ouch, indeed.
For this period of 6 seconds, I am a straight-up hammer horror supervillain. Mind Sliver.
Ooh, okay. Mind Sliver is going to be an int save, I believe. That is... Ooh, I don't know if it's going to make that one. Yeah, it definitely doesn't. 13 on the die, bringing it down to 8. The snake is going to fail as it takes Mind Sliver damage. I believe that's going to be 1d6. Let me double check. Yeah, roll 1d6 for me as you do damage to the creature and get a chance to basically subdue it on whatever the next saving throw it makes is. Sorry if I miss messages in chat. It's a lot to juggle. I watched the 1997 movie called Anaconda yesterday. I remember that one. And we are fighting a giant constrictor snake tonight. A 6 maximum damage. Very nice. As you see the creature recoil from Ayla's block of its own attack, you send a bit of psychic energy into its mind. The atmosphere warbles for a moment. You see the snake sort of shake back as it almost begins to coil and writhe like an earthworm that's been pulled from the ground. it takes full effect there. And the snake actually begins to bleed out of its nose a bit. It's not quite bloodied, but it is getting there. However, that snake is not your only problem, as the buzzing all around you begins to swell, not just louder, but deeper. Suddenly, you notice shapes begin to detach from the shadows overhead. Huge, bloated insects with needle-like faces drop from the canopy, wings beating in a rapid, angry pulse. They descend in a spiraling rush, drawn to the chaos and to the spilled blood in the mud. A swarm of sturges is going to actually make an attack on you, Thalindra, as they overtake your space. Can they do that? No, they can't. That's fine. Flavor. Thalindra, I just rolled my first nat 20. I'm very sorry. That is going to be... I have to do the math. 24 points of piercing damage. Are you still up after that? Thalindra Morningdew. Dreadclaw. Don't want to forget the second name. You are still up at 1 hit point after that attack. However, there is still more to come, as you are now grappled by the creatures, and until the grapple ends, you're going to take necrotic damage at the end of each of your turns, as the creatures begin to sort of lift you up and in a macabre way sink their pointed beaks into your skin even further and sort of wriggle around as they cause more damage to your internal organs. You are still up for now, however. As we move on from the Sturge's turn back to Ayla, you are grappled by this constrictor snake. You see your friend Thalindra being swarmed by Sturges. What would you like to do? And Thalindra, Nyx, you be thinking as well, because I think they're going to need your help. You see both of them are now grappled. I can't believe you were up at 1. This thing does 2d10 plus 3. I double the dice, not the modifier. So that gets you exactly.
I need to get out of this grapple.
Oh, I might have done that. It's fine. You're up at 1. Yes, you do need to get out of the grapple. Would you like to try and escape the grapple? If you would... make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice, to see if you can break free of this snake's constriction. And technically, Thalindra, I think that would have done exactly 25, but I did the math wrong, and that's on me. I don't pull punches, but I am going to get you if I got to. 17 is definitely going to break the grapple as you use your rather toned physique to not only wriggle out of its grasp, but push out, widening it as much as you can before leaping out in a flurry. Taking a bit of inspiration from the Order of the Jackalope, you break free of the grapple. That is your action to do so. Do you have any bonus action or anything else that you would like to do? Or are you going to stand stalwart and hope that you can make it to another round? Zima constructing some chaos there. You guys might need the help. This is pretty dire. What do you think, Ayla? While you think on that, we're going to move on from Ayla to...
We'll try and move to Thalindra to heal her.
Okay. You are technically 10 feet away from the creature after... Well, you would be within 5 feet because it tried to bite you and it was grappling you. As you move towards Thalindra, I'll say you can stay within range of it. You're standing right next to her. Are you trying to use lay on hands? In which case, how many of your, I think it's 15 hit points that you have, are you using? If not, if you're using a spell, you can do that instead. I just need to know what you're doing. You do have Cure Wounds as well. Let me know. But you do begin to channel a bit of divine energy within your hands, thinking back to the healing and wholesome nature of Bramble's Burrow and the shelter beyond that. You pull in some of that daylight to this otherwise dark place. The sun, if it ever does shine here, has long since set, but you bring a bit of healing and help to your ally. Imagine your bonus action lay on hands. I just realized you had used your actions, so that would be what you do. I'm going to assume...
Lay on hands.
Okay, I'm going to assume you're doing all of it. Let me know if you change your mind. I can add it back. But for right now, as Ayla reaches you, Thalindra, you get 15 points of healing pumped into you, bringing you back up to 16, above bloodied. As they reach out with their hands, you feel your wounds beginning to close up. The creatures continue to wriggle and writhe, trying to drain the life from you, but you are clinging to it fervently. As we move on to Nyx's turn. Nyx, what would you like to do? You see one of your friends has escaped a grapple, but there's a swarm of massive insects, as well as this snake that is causing quite a bit of trouble for your friends. You know they went just after you last time, so that could be a challenge. But you do at least feel you are hidden. If there's something you'd like to do from there. You do have short bow. You've got dagger. You'd have to close to land an
I
attack
throw a
with
chromatic orb, fire damage, at the Sturges, hoping to get rid of them before they cause more trouble.
Okay, you can certainly do that. Now, the thing about chromatic orb is that it leaps. So, because the system doesn't tell us exactly what we roll, you can roll the 3d8 separately and we'll see if it doubles, or I can roll it for you and see if we get doubles. Totally your call. If you want to just start rolling the 1d8s individually, you can do that. Or if you want to roll all three at once and just forego the bounce, you can do that as well. I'm hoping to make some changes to the system that allow us to see every individual... Wait, did it give us every individual roll before? I can't remember if I did that or not. It's been so long. No, it doesn't quite do that yet. Dang. Okay. So, totally up to you, Nyx, Russell, as you begin to gather fire energy from the atmosphere, swirling it into a small ball at your palm and hurling it into the sky almost like a grenade. You do have to roll to hit as well. I forgot about that. Oh, gosh. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
I'll let you roll for damage then.
Okay, so first, let's see if you hit. It's going to be !R, CHA, no, INT attack. Sorry. !R, INT attack, because it's based on your intelligence modifier. I promise all this is about to get a lot easier. Still can't tell you exactly how I'm doing it, but man, it's going to be really cool. Oh, 10. A 10 And you're right, you would have had advantage, but unfortunately, a 10 is not going to hit. As you launch this into the air, the creature spies it instantly. Feeling the sudden change in the atmosphere's temperature, it dives beneath the muck, and as the flames ignite the ground beneath, it pops right back up, completely unaffected. Are you doing anything else on your turn? You do still have your bonus action. I will let you know, normally, as far as hiding, you need to go somewhere else, break line of sight, and hide to gain the benefits of hiding. You can't stay where you are. So that will be up to you. There are other places to hide, but it might be putting you out of range of some stuff. I will say, at the end of your turn, Nyx, and I am going to mark off that chromatic orb use. Now out of spell slots. Ooh, level 3 characters burn through resources a lot faster.
I move a few feet to make myself visible, hoping to draw some of the threat off my sisters.
Okay. I'm going to say you rush up onto this hill here and maybe start calling out to the snake that has its eyes set on you. I'm going to see if it can succeed. Let's see. Make a performance check for me. !R performance to see if you can draw its attention, and it's going to try and make an insight check against that. Okay, I've rolled mine. See what you get next. Come on. A 10. As you look out and stare the snake in the face and begin hissing at it wildly, seeing how that provoked it with your sister Ayla before, it kind of cocks its head at you and then turns its attention back to Ayla. It is going to, as it takes its turn, try to constrict you again. Ayla, I need you to make a strength saving throw for me. !R STR save. This is getting pretty dire, folks. There's still a chance. There's still a chance here. Oh, maybe I did that wrong. Yeah, you're right. Fairy Fire was a free use. She should still have 1 slot left. Thank you. Thank you. I might have accidentally marked it off twice. So, Saft, go ahead and roll that strength save for me. See if you can resist the constriction this time. !R STR save. Nyx is trying to draw its attention, but it's not quite enough to pull it away from you. Saft, I'm going to give you a little more time, but then I'll have to switch to somebody else if you're not here anymore. Oh, I see you in there. Yeah. A 14. Okay. As the snake coils around you once again, you feel its scales beginning to slither on the outside of your armor, and you worry that it could constrain you again, but recalling the same attack pattern as before, you're able to leap out of its grasp just as it closes, and like a knot coming undone, the snake unloops and uncoils in your space. As you land, it lunges in for a bite. That's going to be another a 16 to hit this time. That still does not hit you, however, as when you land, you turn your antlers towards it, and that now blocks its path to your body as it recoils, hissing. It was unable to grapple you as we now move to Thalindra's turn. Thalindra, you are unfortunately still grappled by the swarm of sturges. However, you will only take the extra necrotic damage if you aren't able to break free of that by the end of your turn. So, what would you like to do as this swarm is sort of lifting you into the air? It's long, proboscis. I don't know that word. I read it earlier, but I don't know how to say it. They're piercing into you in sort of causing even more damage to your internal organs. You know that you won't last long this way, but perhaps you can outlast them if you just start attacking. What would you like to do? You guys have gotten into a lot of trouble on this stream, but you've made a lot of progress too.
Before I wild shape, I will cast Moonbeam, then wild shape into a brown bear. Bear
Okay.
emoji. Then position the Moonbeam so it doesn't hurt my party on the giant snake.
Can you be a brown bear? I think you might have to be a black bear at this level. Let me double... Oh, wait, no, Moon Druid, right? Let me double check. Like I said, Druid's got a bunch of extra stuff, and I don't play them that often. I haven't played one in the new rules yet. No, I got it. Let's see. Max CR is 1. Yes, so you can turn into a brown bear, and you do.
As the Lindra's life is squeezed out of her, Nyx knows she must take drastic measures to save her wild, yet beautiful druid sister from certain death.
And let me double check something too here. Because you may have done something even smarter.
Nyx, with a dagger in each hand, gives the big bad evil guys the stink eye with her fiery amber eyes as she dances in her tight leather outfit. The blades of her daggers reflect flashes in the sun.
Very cool. As you just try and direct all of its ire towards you, the snake has been repelled by Ayla's armor twice now. It might be more susceptible to your wiles in just a moment, but we'll find out first that as the Lindra wild shapes into this brown bear, it is too heavy for the Sturgis to continue grappling. You break free of the grapple. You are no longer just a medium creature, and so you drop to the ground after casting Moonbeam. I believe that you're concentrating on that. Let me mark that spell slot off for you. Okay, and I imagine you're centering it between the Sturges and the snake. It's a 5-foot radius. I don't think you can get both. They're about 10 feet apart by my view. So, did you mention which you wanted to target?
Snake first.
Snake first. I see. Yep. So a beam of moonlight shines down, breaking through the dense jungle canopy that is naught but rotten branches
Nyx
at this
calls
point.
out, "I knew you were wild, and strong like a bear sister. Now rips its guts out with your big black bear teeth."
With that, the creature gets a 14 on its con save. I don't know if that's enough for your spell save. It is exactly the save it needs to make, unfortunately. Which means... half save? Half damage. So go ahead and roll 2d10 radiant damage from your moonbeam. It will take half damage from that, and perhaps this placement of your moonbeam will encourage it to move away from your friend next turn. So Dracula, that'll be exclamation point R 2d10 for your moonbeam damage. We'll half that and then go from there. Oh, you type it right? Oh, don't worry about the radiant. That'll just confuse it. Sorry. Exclamation point R 2d10. I don't know if I said that wrong or not, but I promise I'm working on a fix for that. 13 is pretty nice. Now, it does get half to 6, but that is not nothing. As radiant moonlight is thrown across this decaying forest, you see that the snake is now bloodied. You do still have your... that is all of it. You do still have your movement. If you like, you can stay within range of everything so you're not taking attacks of opportunity, or you can try and move away. Your call. But if I don't hear from you, I'm assuming you're staying in place, in which case the Sturges are going to try now, instead of attacking you.
I will stay in range.
The Sturges are going to move on to Ayla, staying within your range so it doesn't take an attack of opportunity, because it wants a nice medium creature to feast on, and Ayla's no longer grappled. Ayla, I think I know the answer to this, but does a 17 hit? 12 on the die plus 5. Like I said, I already know the answer. As the swarm descends upon you, you've seen what these things can do. You begin waving wildly with your maul and your armor by just enough of the virtue that you carry while wearing it. You are able to stave off the Sturges. They are not able to pierce your armor. They are not able to grapple you as we move on from their turn back to yours. Right now, you have a snake in front of you that is caught in a moonbeam. The Sturges... No. What's that? I missed it. No! Saft, not to worry. Ayla lives. It is your turn. What would you like to do? You've got a snake in front of you, Sturges behind you, and a brown bear who happens to be your ally right next to you. Your soul sister, they're waiting in the wings to help take you away from this dangerous place. They carried you on horseback here. Maybe you'll go bareback on the ride back to Torvosa. There may have been an unintentional joke in that one. Renaria says, "Squish the bugs. They are quite troublesome. Sturges are
Nyx
fun."
says out of the Landra's moonbeam light, and in the shadows of the wild jungle. The dark elf rogue poises herself to strike like a panther in the night. She readies her deadly rogue daggers.
Squish the bugs and I'll deal with the snake. Snake emoji.
Okay. Zima wants Saft and Ayla specifically to squish the bugs. Nyx is repositioning herself in the darkness cast by the moonbeam as she prepares to strike against her foe. What do you got, Ayla? What are you planning on doing, Saft? Oh, you sent a super chat. Did it roll 1d4 from Mindsliver? On the save, it didn't. It should have, and that would have taken it out of range. Thank you, Saft, and thank you for the $2.
Bonus action Divine Favor and attack the Sturges.
Okay. Bonus action Divine Favor as you gather light around yourself once again. That light coalesces at the tip of your maul as you begin swinging it wildly. Make an attack roll. It's going to be !R, STR, attack. And I will do the extra damage to the snake. Thank you for that. It's an extra 7 points. Yeah, Divine Smite is up. So I'm going to mark that spell slot off as well. Sorry, Divine Favor. One of my new favorite spells in 2024. I have said its praises many a time. It is my divine favorite, as Tides of Mo said from the other room. A 10, unfortunately, is not going to hit the Sturges, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, as you swing your maul, heavy as it is, the air current it generates around it causes the swarm to part around your maul as it clambers into the one piece of solid
Nyx
stone in
tells
this entire
herself,
swamp.
I will not allow my sisters to die tonight. Even if I must sacrifice my own life to save them. She takes a drink of our fiery wine, and mentally prepares for the fight of her life.
Well, Nyx, as you take a sip of your fiery wine and prepare yourself for your turn is here. What would you like to do? You see your allies are holding the line as best they can against this snake and swarm of sturges, but the Lindra has taken quite a bit of damage, is not doing so well, and even the sturdy Ayla looks like she could be in a bit of trouble here. What would you like to do? I do have to remember Thalindra gets 3 temp HP from wild shaping. Oh no, you get quite a bit more because of Moon Druid, huh? Jeez. That would cause you to heal from some damage you took earlier. I think it would just be 2. Nine temporary HP, yes. So you would actually heal a bit as well. So you're actually at 27 points, Thalindra. Looking very nice. It's been a day, hasn't it, Matt? It really has.
Nyx, seeing Thalindra the black bear in trouble, moves in with her daggers and stabs at the bugs, whatever is next to Thalindra, with her deadly daggers.
I will say that you can move in, but you're gonna need to use your bonus action to get there. It's hard to tell with the camera's position. No, you know what? That is exactly 30 feet. So you can get there without using your bonus action. You close on the sturges and begin swinging wildly with your daggers. I believe you can make 2 attacks thanks to the light property. So go ahead and make your first attack roll. Exclamation point, DEX attack. Let's see if you can bring down these bugs. Once again, a 10 as you swing through them. You make the same mistake Ayla did before as the bugs just part around your blade, but you have a second attack if you want to use your bonus action. Go ahead and roll another attack for me. Bringing your second dagger to bear. Combat is a lot more intense with just 3 characters in play. I usually run for parties of like
Damn,
4, 5,
these
maybe
things
6.
are fast. Nyx
Yeah.
then sings around with her other dagger for the kill.
Come on, Nyx. A 15 will hit. Roll your damage is going to be 1d4 plus 3. Finally, these Sturges get a little bit of what's coming to them. Yeah, normally I run for like parties of 4, 5, maybe 6. It's rare that I only run for 3 people, but it gets really intense, and I kind of like it. Okay, 4 points of damage as you swing around and do catch one of the Sturges unaware. Almost like a bat, it flutters away, flapping its wings wildly before bringing them back to that full buzz. You see a little bit of black ichor splatter onto the ground, draining from its body where you stabbed it. However, that is going to be the end of your turn as we now move to the Constrictor Snake. And I believe Moonbeam gets to do some things. Am I right? Sorry, again, I don't play Druid very often. Or ends its turn there. Got it. So, the snake, with that Moonbeam where it is, I'm going to say is not going to stick around in that position, and seeing its tasty, tantalizing target from earlier having moved closer, the snake is going to slither around to you, Nyx. Now, it is leaving your range, Ayla. If you would like to take an attack of opportunity, and I know you can't exactly shout it from chat on a whim, I will allow you to do so. You can roll exclamation point RSTR attack if you would like to do that now. It circles around to you, Nyx. If it survives whatever attack may be coming for it, I'm going to have you make a strength saving throw. So, Saft, let us know if you're attacking it as it leaves your range. And if so, roll that attack, !R!STR, attack. There is technically a chance that you fell it. It is bloodied. Fairy Fire, unfortunately, is not on any of them. Only the snake was there whenever it was cast, and it succeeded the save. Okay, so you swing wide. Once again, your attention drawn to the sturges. The snake is either able to slither past you as it makes its way to Nyx. Nyx, you're going to make a strength saving throw for me. !R!STR, save, as it tries to constrict you. Your attention drawn to the sturges. You hardly notice the slithering cylinder moving next to you. Okay. Nyx, you are grappled by this creature as it slithers up behind you. It deals 13 points of bludgeoning damage as it ensnares you, finally having you in its clutches. Seeing the life leaving your body, bringing you down to just 2 hit points. It is now going to make a bite attack on you, Nyx. That is a 4 on the die for a total of 10, I believe, which is going to miss you. Just by the virtue of your nearly falling unconscious, your body goes limp as its bite whistles past where your head once was. Unfortunately, or fortunately for you, that does miss as we now move past the snake's turn to Thalindra's turn. Thalindra, Zezima, what would you like to do? Things are getting dire. Both your sisters are looking pretty rough. You're looking okay thanks to your temporary hit points, but you know from experience that that will only get you so far. One of these enemies needs to come down, and soon, or you could be in a lot of trouble.
On my turn, I will use Mind Sliver on the snake and use Lucky.
Okay. Lucky only does something when they're attacking you or when you're actually attacking it. This just makes an int save, I believe. But good to know, Thalindra, as you turn in your bear form, can you use Mind Sliver in bear form? Is that one of the spells that you can use as Moon Druid? I don't think it is, but maybe. Yeah, it's Elven lineage, so I don't think you can use that in your wild shape. It's only the stuff that you get from specifically your subclass. So no Mind Sliver in that current
NVMI attack
form.
with the claws of the bear instead.
Okay, so Thalindra, as you turn, seeing the snake now gripping Nyx after she rushed in to try and help her sisters, distracting it for you, you bring your claws to bear. Go ahead and roll exclamation point RD20, and I'll look up the bear stat block for you. So we know what hits. A nat 1 as you swing your claws in is not going to hit. Glancing off at the scales of the creature, you feel your eyes are still adjusted to the moonbeam that you have just a little ways off. And so you're not able to see it quite as clearly, but you do still have a bite attack. So roll 1d20 plus 5 one more time. We're going to see if you hit with that bite. And it looks like it's you now, Renarius. So roll 1d20 plus 5. 19 will certainly hit as the bear sinks its teeth into it. Belindra, I imagine you get sort of an acrid taste coming off of the snake, not only from whatever venom may be coursing through its veins, but simply from the muck that it's been swimming in. Roll 1d8 plus 3 to see how much damage you deal to it. You're definitely putting a dent in it. It's been bloodied for a little while, but it's going to take a little more to bring it down. And then you do still have your moonbeam. Don't forget about that. It is a magic action to move it, though. So you would have already taken your... I wasn't sure if it was a bonus action. Here comes the damage roll. 10. Very nice roll on 1d8 plus 3. As you deal 10 piercing damage to the snake, you see its grip begins to loosen a bit on its clutch and Nyx. I imagine, Nyx, you may have a slightly easier time escaping the grapple if that's what you choose to do, but unfortunately this is still not enough to bring the snake down. Moving on from it, we are now looking at the Sturges. The Sturges are going to make another attack on Ayla, hoping to grapple them as well. That's a nat 1. They miss again. Ayla, these are basically gnats buzzing around your head as you just swat them away, trying to draw your focus closer to Nyx, who is grappled by the snake. You know that pain, and you want to help them. As we move on to your turn, Saft, what does Ayla do? Nyx, you're on deck. Keep in mind, you only have 2 hit points remaining, Nyx. Whew, this is a long session 2, but you guys are crushing it. You may yet survive to see session 3. Jason says she only needs 1. Indeed. We've seen what paladins do on this channel. We've seen it. What are you thinking, Saft? And you asked earlier, I did see, I just wasn't able to answer about the heroic inspiration. Your characters do not have heroic inspiration currently. Very unfortunate. But you may find ways to get it as our adventure moves on.
I am going to roll to attack the snake. We need it dead.
Okay. In that case, as you maneuver, there's no other way to get to the snake than to leave the Sturge's range. So as you maneuver, the Sturges are going to take an attack of opportunity on you. That is close. I need to double check. It's a 13 on the die, which is exactly 18 total. As you maneuver to try and gain a attack vantage on attack vector on the snake, you are going to take 14 points of piercing damage, and you are grappled. So you actually aren't able to leave its range. You are stuck right there as the Sturges finally find their chance to sink their needles into you, keeping you from maneuvering to help your friend. You do still have the rest of your turn, but you are currently grappled and have disadvantage to hit creatures other than the Sturges. You can try and escape the grapple, or you can accept the fact that you have been tied down here and just start swinging. It is totally up to you. Ooh, 14 points also brings you down to just 1 hit point. That's the second time tonight we've had a character on 1. This is a very, very dire situation indeed. A 7 as you swing on the Sturges is not going to be enough, unfortunately. Because they are essentially driven into chinks within your armor, it's hard to get an appropriate angle on them to swing your maul. And so your turn passes simply with them finding purchase between the chinks in your armor. We now move from your turn to Nyx. Nyx, what would you like to do? You are currently grappled by this snake. You see Ayla has tried to come to your aid but has failed and is now looking even worse off than you. The Lendra looks okay,
Bonus
but she is
action,
no match for both of
steady
these.
aim. Then I strike the snake twice using the Nick Mastery trait, adding sneak attack to the first one to hit.
Love that. Okay, so for clarification, because I know there's rules lawyers out there, technically you don't have movement, so you wouldn't be able to do steady aim, but I like what you're doing, and we're going to go with it. So go ahead and roll R Dex Attack ADV, because you do have advantage on this strike. I know it's a long one. R DEX Attack ADV. A 16 is going to hit as you drive your knife into the snake, calming your mind. I imagine that the amber light in your eyes flickers for a moment as you draw a little bit of latent energy from your connection to this root bulb that you wear underneath your leathers. You drive the bone dagger deep into the snake's, underneath the snake's scales. And I believe with your sneak attack, I think it's 2d6 that you get. Yeah, so it's going to be 1d4 plus 2d6 plus 3 on this attack. Let's see if you can cause enough to bring this thing down. $12. Okay. Those of you following along at home, you can look up the giant constrictor snake stat block, and you can track how much damage has been done thus far. As you drive your dagger in between some of its scales, you see it writhe and wriggle in response, nearly releasing you from its grapple, but it is still up at 1. As we move from your turn, still grappled by the constrictor snake, we would be moving to its turn. However, just as the snake rears back for another strike, a thunderous crash crescendos from the other end of the path. Through the trees bursts a towering cart drawn by a massive tusked boar. Figures ride its sides, their weapons trained, and in coordination, they throw a weighted net and swing open a reinforced
My second
iron
attack from
cage.
Nick was a 23.
Hold on, Nick.
But you used your bonus action for steady aim. You don't get that, unfortunately. Oh wait, Nick allows it. Nick allows it. Okay. Gotcha. And it hits, and that brings it down to 0. So instead, as you drive the snake to the ground, a cart comes barreling out of the woods on the opposite side. You hear it snapping branches as a giant boar drives it forward. It swings its cage around, actually sort of driving the sturges away as the cart itself sort of creates a giant fly swatter. Several individuals leap out and begin taking the unconscious snake and throwing it into the cage. The sturges then scatter in an uproar, and several hunters, breathing hard, mud splattered and wary, now turn their attention towards you. You look upon them, a grung with big golden eyes and a tiny red body, a crossbow almost as large as they are, and a half a dozen hunting knives strapped across their chest. You see a giant, broad-shouldered lizard folk with dark green scales, bone piercings, and a massive stone-headed war club slung between his right hand and left. And then last, climbing off of the big boar, is a tall, lean furbolg with clay-red skin, a dust-stained rancher's hat, and a half smile as he sort of looks upon all of you. Evening. Looks like you could use a little bit of help. And that is where we are going to end our session for tonight. Thank you all so much for contributing to this absolutely intense episode 2 of A Decay in Darkwell. If you're interested in what's happened before or what's coming next, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel because we've got a lot in store, including an episode of our normal in-person campaign, The Wake of Ao. On Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, come check us out. I get to play in that campaign, and let's just say it ties into both this and our other long-running campaign in a way that is really just serendipitous. I couldn't have possibly planned it this way. The way it works out, I'm really excited to see how many of you pick up on the connections between those campaigns. But until then, go out there and make some chaos. Bye!